Welcome in. Another part of the state of Wisconsin as the tour continues. We are live. We are in Road America at the start-finish line, and if you're watching on the live stream, that's what you are looking at. Yes, last night made the trek from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, over here, pre-IndyCar preview. A lot going on today. And it is, I'm hoping to get him on. We'll wait and see. But there is a rather kind of cool celebrity in the house. And cool might be putting it as an understatement. But I'll tell you what's going on here at Road America coming up here momentarily. You've got the trade that has gone down. The Brewers, Aaron Savale. He got his wish. He's out. You want to go to the Siberia of baseball? Sure. We'll send you off to the White Sox. They pick up first baseman Andrew Vaughn, according to Jesse Rogers, as Jesse Rogers based out of Chicago anyway, but he got the scoop, and there you have it. So Aaron Savale is off. He is now heading to Chicago. The Brewers are getting some cash back as well. Cash back. So cash money. Savale did not want to go to the bullpen, saying he wanted to continue starting, even if that meant getting traded. And Savale 1-2 with a 4.91 ERA, turned 30 on Thursday, eligible for free agency after the season, was the odd man out when the Brewers opted to go with the rotation of Miz. We are all Miz in. Miz had a big night last night, heating it up on his first few pitches over Hundo. And then after that, he rolled the ankle in a weird walk-back incident where he's just kind of like waiting for the toss back from Contreras and stepped back, rolled the ankle, and at that point in time, I mean, he was throwing the ball pretty good, and he probably you were thinking about getting him out of there anyway. But nevertheless, now you got the rotation of Mizorowski, Freddie Peralta, Jose Quintana, Quinn Priester, Chad Patrick. Mizorowski 5 scoreless in his major league debut. Brewers get a 6-zip win in the opener, the 4-game series against the Cardinals. Jackson Churio going yard. Hey, how about ever since we got on his ass, Joey Ortiz has been somebody. He's been somebody. So good stuff there. And you know what? We can continue on his ass if it means he's going to play that way, because he's been actually putting the bat on the ball. So kudos to him. Give credit where credit is due, man. Savale, like I said, 40 and 37 career-wise with a 4.06 ERA. He is now heading from a Brewers team that won the past 2 National League Central titles to a White Sox team that sucks and plays outdoors in miserable weather. It's always miserable on the south side. I don't care. I'm not a north sider, don't get me wrong, but that place is a pit, toilet, and he's going to the White Sox. Yay. I mean, he'll be out of there eventually. All he's got to do is go there and throw decent. But he'll go be a free agent somewhere else. He'll probably end up in a plush estate out in Arizona. But at least he goes to the Siberia of baseball. That is the Chicago White Sox. So there you go. Vaughn, who is now 27, 5th season with the White Sox, batting a whopping 189 with 5 dingers. It's not like they're getting a powerhouse, by the way, just so you know. But hey, you take it. You know, you got a backup infielder, backup first baseman. Oh well. Got something out of the deal. Not a bad way to go. So, Matt Arnold, kudos to you. And kudos to them for finding Mizorowski and bringing him in and bringing him up and having a great night last night. So, that was a lot of fun. The Packers did something expectedly unexpected, and that was practice. When everybody else in years past, it's always these team building things and bowling and paintballing and, archery or whatever it is they're going to do. They opted to actually practice. And said, no, everybody's healthy. We're going to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're going to see if everybody's on the same page. So we'll wait and see what happens there. When it comes to everybody, if the team building that they didn't do yesterday has some kind of detrimental effect, which I think more people were surprised they actually practiced, which I'm like, kudos to Matt LaFleur, man. Put him on the field. How are we looking? So last night you had the NHL. Man, Florida got off to a fast start. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, high-fiving, which I don't care. I guess the world's making a big deal out of it. I don't give a rat's ass. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Edmonton Oilers storming back. And the Edmonton Oilers get a win on the visitor ice. So there you go. Tie up the series, 2 games apiece. You've got OKC looking to do the same thing in the NBA Finals coming up tonight down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. So there you go. Got that going on. Got a lot of stuff happening, man. A lot of good stuff. We are here at Road America. And what I wanted to tell you is this. So at Road America today, we have got a lot going on. Okay, first of all, we're previewing next weekend. Road America never sells out, but Road America will be packed next weekend. So get your tickets now. They've got, I don't know if they have hospitality and camping left. I mean, they have camping. I don't know if they have RV space. You can check. But IndyCar rolls in to Road America next week. Today, as you sit here and you watch cars, a few cars roll on by. If you're watching over on the live stream, today you have got numerous things. Now, over the hill, you on the back portion of this down by the carousel, you have got the International Championships of Kids Go-Karting. You got like 200 drivers. All these kids with parents who have been working with them their entire life, aspiring to be IndyCar drivers. They are all over the hill today, racing, bumping, grinding, rubbing, racing all over the place. So they're over the hill. And right in front of us, where you see the cars going by, you have got the Drive Challenge today. And there's some cars that are tuned up for a racetrack. There's everything from Corvettes. I saw a Ferrari go by. Somebody said there was a Lamborghini that ran past here a little while ago. Some of these cars, some regular cars as well. But they pay money to come on this course, to drive, and all of the proceeds, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the proceeds, portion of the proceeds, they go to, I think it's the American Cancer Society. So they're raising money up here today. Then there's a big to-do with the Corvette clubs. And I don't know how many Corvettes are on site, but there's Corvettes every damn where. I mean, they're all over the place. Old ones, new ones, you name it. They're all down the hill. And then my phone is buzzing on. And the reason I'm paying attention to my phone, I shouldn't do this while I'm on the show. However, I am checking because, okay, we're waiting to hear back. Behind me, behind the media center here, they have got drifting. Now, if you're familiar with it, if you're younger, you probably know this. A thing called grid life. Grid life is basically drifting on a track. Okay, it's racing and drifting and everything. And when Grid Life comes to town, they do racing and drifting, and then they do this giant EDM show. And if you're an old person, you don't know what EDM is. Probably don't. Okay, but electronic dance mix, basically. I think it's electronic dance mix. Austin, am I correct in saying EDM, electronic dance mix? I think that's
yes,
what it is.
I believe so.
That's what I said it is.
Yep.
Okay, just check. So EDM. Big giant EDM show, lasers, smoke, the whole thing, just thumping music. You know, everybody's jumping around. They're dressed for it. They're in furry boots, and girls are scantily clad, and dudes are just jumping around with their shirts unbuttoned. And okay, whatever. So last year it was here, and it was a huge success, and it's coming back. But one of the guys that participated in it, known as T-Pain, thought it was cool. He didn't participate in the EDM side. He raced in it and thought it was great. So he invested his own money. He took a lot of the staff from Grid Life and started Nappy Boy Automotive. And basically, it's Grid Life on steroids. And so he is here today. His family's upstairs. His PR staff and his broadcast channel is two media press boxes down from me doing their thing. I'm here, and T-Pain is walking around. And I pulled in this morning because we had to go in the back way because a lot of the track is shut down. So I came in the back way, and I looked over. I'm like, is that T-Pain? Like, there's no way. I'm here in Elkhart Lake and Road America. Is that T-Pain? They're like, yeah, that's T-Pain. Like, holy crap. So I'm trying to get him on the program. We'll talk a little racing. But they invited me after the show today to jump in the car with him and go drifting. And then one of his guys said to me, he's got bodyguards and people everywhere, but he's really down-to-earth guy, very smart guy, down-to-earth and everything. And one of the guys said, I was told that if you can get your big ass in. So, so I'm like, oh, okay, how are we looking? Anyway, long story short, a lot going on up here at Road America. But the big news is next week, this thing's going to roar with the sound of IndyCars as IndyCar comes rolling through Road America. They've got a full schedule again this year. I can talk a little bit. I've already got questions, people over on the live stream and people that are emailing me going, hey, is there any word because NASCAR sucks? Are they ever going to come back? I can talk about that a little bit. But man, oh man, oh man. there was a lot going on. You've got Savali being traded, Mizorowski with a hell of a night, Brewers get a win, Packers practice, wrap up OTAs. We've got Mike Clemens coming up bottom of the hour. We're going to have a U.S. Open discussion. Our buddy Gary D'Amato is going to be joining us a little bit later on in the program today. We're going to hear from Matt LaFleur today. We are loaded. Our buddy John Ewert is going to be here, who is John. I don't even know what John's official title is, but he's kind of what I call the vice president of everything, because I go to John for everything. Whether it's media relations, getting an RV spot up here and getting us set up, the radio show. He does everything. He even brings Quick Trip Donuts into the media center. He's like the guy that feeds us too. So John handles every damn thing. So we'll talk to John Ewert coming up here in about an hour from now as well. So, man, I tell you what, I don't even know what where do you want to begin at this point? Where do you want to begin at this point? Because there's so much going on. So much going on here. But like I said, big win last night. There we are. Big win last night for the Brewers. Mizorowski threw extremely well. Extremely well. I tell you what, the one thing I got home, or not home, but I got done in time. I got over here in time to sit down and turn the TV on and watch the game. Mizorowski looks like he's about 14 years old. That's the one that I sat down and went, oh, damn, he looks young. Tall, slender, lanky guy. And short of having a weathered face at the age of 12, like he just got done smoking 12 packs of Marlboros, you'd swear with that kind of that quick leg kick and the big lanky throw and the snap of the elbow and everything. I'm like, is that Randy Johnson? Little Randy Johnson action over there? Big lanky guy that can heat it up. So short of a pigeon flying by and getting blown up with a fastball, that was an impressive performance last night. I liked it.
It's one of my favorite things about baseball is that just a guy like that can just have an absolute cannon on him.
Yeah.
Just throw that any normal looking dude you wouldn't know could just throw 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's good stuff.
I think he had 14 pitches over 100 yesterday.
Yep.
Which pretty good.
That's last time we saw anybody like that threw that consistently over 100. But he started out as a starter, but ended up in the pen as a closer, and that was Aroldis Chapman that had consistency over 100 like that. But Mizorowski has already a curve or a swerve, a cutter or a slider, whatever you want to call these things, because they're pretty much this. You can only do so many things to the ball, right? And delivery. And they just rename him just to rename him. But nevertheless, he's got a lot of movement. Whereas Aroldis Chapman, he would throw 106, 104, and he'd throw it on a string. Where if you could just catch up to it, you could launch it out of the park. But I'll tell you what, that breaking ball and the off-speed stuff, to go from 98, 99 down to 91, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Like if you have off-speed stuff or a change where because you could see him throw it, they slowed it down into a slow motion delivery and showed his hand and the gripping of the baseball with the two knuckles and then two fingers over the top and two knuckles off to the side for that off-speed stuff. And when you go from closing in on 100 miles an hour down to 90, that's a drop, man. And the thing just had a dive to it. It was like, whew, that is some nasty stuff. Now, again, it's one game. I'm not going to get, overwhelmingly joyous on it. It's not like Cy Young just walked through the door. But that kid's got a lot of promise. And that's, knock on wood, stay healthy, because that's what we were saying last night. Oh, man, if he could just stay healthy, and it was an inning later, he rolled the ankle, which is going to be nothing. But inning later, he rolled the ankle. So just stay healthy. Just stay healthy. So we got a lot to get to. You could pretty much throw darts at a dartboard today and figure out where we're going to start, because that's the kind of day it is, to be perfectly honest with you. The Savali trade, I like it. I had people come up to me this morning saying, "What'd you think? What'd you think?" I like the fact that you just got a guy that was not happy. You got him out of here. What's the golden Mike Tomlin saying? We want volunteers, not hostages. Okay, you got rid of a hostage. And you bring in a guy that probably wanted to get the hell out of Chicago. And I know coming into this, he's batting, 189, and it's not something overwhelmingly positive. But I got to be honest, playing in the craptastic place that is the White Sox South Side with no hope of anything, you're just there. You're collecting a check, as opposed to coming into something where you're chasing the Cubs, And two, you've had success. It's a camaraderie. It's a different clubhouse. And you have expectations is different. It can just naturally boost you. So I'm going to give it an opportunity. I'm going to give Vaughn an opportunity just to kind of see. I mean, obviously, Reese Hoskins has had a better season than what I think a lot of people were thinking he would. So that's the positive side of things. It's not like you have to have a first baseman, but at least now you've got a little versatility there, So I'll take that. So anyway,
I saw a tweet that said perfectly described it. Broken, but could be fun to fix in terms of
Correct.
Andrew Vaughn. He was the 3rd overall pick in 2019, so might still have something there.
And the Brewers have been pretty good at figuring some guys out with the now, offensively speaking, it's not always been the most, fruitful of projects. But pitching wise, they've had a lot of success in figuring some guys out where maybe that rubs off a little bit, and whatever lab or whatever capability they have at getting a guy to, put the ball in play, put the bat on the ball and give you some opportunities. And even if he's just a backup and comes in and, late innings and gives you a little bit of pop and, maybe can play a little defense for you, at least you've got some options now. So, which is good. So anyway, that will I think bode well. And just to get rid of a guy that doesn't want to be there, that's big. That's big. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. We are live. We are here at Road America, and you can take a look if you're watching on the live stream. Right over there across from us is not only the pit road, but behind that is where a lot of the cars are, they're working on them, getting them ready to take them out on the track, and that's where the entire infield is going to be filled next week when the IndyCar Series comes here with all the toy haulers and the car haulers and the garages and the reception areas and such are all going to be set up. So really looking forward to all of that. We'll be here for that next week as well. Going to step out, take a quick break. We're going to come back. Got a lot going on today. Stay tuned. Bottom of the hour, Mike Clemens coming up, so don't go anywhere. Got to say thanks to our friends over there at Suburban Harley Davidson. That is going to be the landing spot for our motorcycle ride coming up on August 31st. Sunday, August 31st. Put it on your calendar. Sunday, August 31st. We are looking forward to it. Raising money for Big Unit Foundation, which then in turn we donate a good portion of that over to Fisher House, Wisconsin. We're going to continue that tradition again this year. Last year, we donated over $21,000. We hope to do it and make it bigger and better this year. And we can't do it without you. Put it on your calendar, August 31st. The official signups and everything go out next Monday. All of that's going to go out, and you can start signing up for it, pre-registering for it. We're going to have some neat stuff for pre-registration as well. But we are going to land at Suburban Harley Davidson on Main Street in Thiensville, Wisconsin. Go to suburbanharley.com for all the information regarding bikes and motor clothes and parts and service and everything they're going on, especially for the Harley Davidson Homecoming. So they're going to have a big party out there for that as well. Go to suburbanharley.com. That is suburbanharley.com. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 6/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program, The Bill Michaels Show. On a day like today, it was raining out here a little bit earlier. I don't know where it is in your portion of the state of Wisconsin, but it was coming down. They're back on the track now out here at Road America. But you could see it. It came from like the northwest area, and it torrential. There was a guy across the way that was out on the track at one point, and he went over to a car. I think it was a convertible, and it was funny because John Ewert, who is one of the guys that we go to here at the track. I mean, like I said, John's like the vice president of everything. He said, "Man, I hope they don't have the top open on that thing because it was coming down a little bit earlier, coming down." Anyway, that being said, we are here at Road America. But if you're going to have rain in the forecast and you want to get out and swing the sticks, but you don't have a place to do it because it is raining and it's not great weather or just nasty weather, check out our friends at Birdie Boys, BOYZ, BirdieBoysIndoorGolf.com. That's BirdieBoysIndoorGolf.com on Pilot Court in Waukesha, just south of the Waukesha County Airport. A great place, 6 different simulators. You can even play like Erin Hills, Whistling Straits, some of the better courses in Wisconsin on these simulators. Not only the ones around the world, but right here in our own backyard. Really cool place. 6 simulators. Big bar that they have there, televisions and such, so you can feel like you're in a bar, but just being able to, swing the sticks along with it. They have a kitchen as well. Check out Birdie Boys, BOYZ, BirdieBoysIndoorGolf.com. That's BirdieBoysIndoorGolf.com. Excuse me. We got Mike Clemens coming up bottom of the hour. Mike's going to join us here in about 10 minutes. The big news comes that today that the trade happened earlier this morning. Mizorowski makes his appearance last night and threw extremely well. Then Aaron Savale getting his wish. The Brewers move him to the White Sox for Andrew Vaughn. That's the big news of the day. Today, Friday the 13th, too, by the way, which I didn't even realize that until I heard some of the eerie Friday the 13th music going on on Ebo's show earlier this morning. Didn't even realize that today. But Savale, who did not like the fact that he was going to the bullpen, is now gone, gets shipped off to the Siberia of baseball. Vaughn comes into a situation where they are obviously wanting to win. He was in his 5th season with the White Sox, hitting 189, 5 dingers, and 19 RBIs in 48 games this year. He was then sent to AAA Charlotte, and just trying to get him back on track. So maybe the Brewers can do something with him. So we'll see what happens there. But I don't necessarily. Some people are like, "Oh, that's all they got." Well, Savale was not. Again, it wasn't like he was 5-0 with a 189 ERA, getting sent to the bullpen. He was a guy that was he came back from injury, was trying to work his way back into being a lengthy starter and getting that free agent money this upcoming offseason. And Mizorowski was just better than him. They needed a spot, so they moved him. He was unhappy, so they gave him his wish, and off he goes. So you got something. You got something for the dude. Take it, move on, call it a day. You're good to go. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, please feel free. Go ahead and do so. 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. Bottom of the hour, we have got our good buddy, Mike Clemens is going to be joining us. And then after that, in the next hour, we're going to have John Ewert from Road America is going to be here. We got Gary D'Amato is going to join us today. We'll talk about the U.S. Open. Scotty Scheffler, an interesting bet, who was a couple over yesterday. The betting line for Scotty Scheffler begins to move because, which I find rather interesting, because of his ability to adjust and come back against the rest of the field, which I find, he's 6 shots off the pace. So, but the betting line is still Scotty Scheffler to be one of the favorites to win this thing, which is fascinating. It's fascinating because you would assume a guy that's a couple over, you're kind of looking at, are you going to make the cut? You're not going to make the cut. But right now, you would assume he is. And here's the reason why. Because you've got J.J. Spawn at 4 under right now, who tees off a little bit later on this morning. Tristan Lawrence, 3 under. You got a couple of guys, Sam Burns and Siwoo Kim, sitting at 2 under. You've got 4 guys then at 1 under, 5 or 6 at even, and then the rest of the field's either 1 or 2 over. It's not an easy field by any stretch of the imagination. So they kind of feel like maybe he could come back and win this thing. Does a guy like J.J. Spawn hold on? Does Tristan Lawrence hold on? These are some of the names that you're like, I know these guys kind of, We know Siwoo Kim. We know Victor Hovland, right? But some of the other names that are at top, like Brooks Koepka is even right now. He's +2 for the day today, sitting after 12. So he's a guy that obviously has played championship golf. He's won majors before. So does Brooks Koepka begin to rise, although he's not getting off to a fast start today? There's a guy like Adam Scott, Robert McIntyre, Colin Morikawa. Those guys, they're all within striking distance. And then you look at a guy like, that's 2 over. You got Xander Schauffele, Denny McCarthy, Patrick Reed, some of those guys. So Bryson DeChambeau is 3 over for the tournament as well. Keegan Bradley, 3 over for the tournament. Some names that you may know, but they haven't even teed off yet today. Scotty Scheffler. Well, by the way, Scotty Scheffler did not get off to a great start. He has risen up a little bit, but he's 1 over for the day thus far after 11 now. But he's 4 over for the tournament, tied for 46th right now. The cut line is projected to be 4 over. That's where the cut line is. So still some betting money coming in on Scotty Scheffler, just for the fact that he has that ability to kind of change his game midstream. All right, let's do this. We're going to talk some Packers football. When we come back, Mike Clemens is going to be joining us. We'll talk with Mike and get the lowdown as the Packers wrapped up the mandatory minicamp. Now they are off for the next 5.5, 6 weeks. July 23rd is when they're going to reconvene up there in Green Bay and get ready for the upcoming 2025-2026 season. So we'll talk to Mike Clemens upon our return. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs, where they believe in better. Cousin Subs, whether today's that kind of day. Sitting here at the racetrack, pepperoni melt in hand. Wouldn't be a bad day to go. A little chocolate shake off to the side, some of those fries, and just watching the cars go by. This is we've done shows at golf courses. which has been great. We were in studio out at WKTY. Then I was at Turtleback. I was at Celebrations doing a show, the bar in the bar in Rothschild doing a show. Then we were at the golf course yesterday at Turtleback Golf Course, Wild Ridge the week before, and now I'm sitting here at the start-finish line of Road America. God, I love my job, and if I just had one of those Cousin Subs next to me, it'd be fantastic. Cousin Subs, big supporter of the motorcycle ride of veterans, military members, first responders, and their families as well. Make it a Cousin Subs kind of day. More of the Bill Michaels Show. Mike Clemens joining me next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Oh man, I'm super motivated. You know, I feel like every offseason always a fresh start to do better and get better. So that's why I'm here.
Welcome back. The words of the now departed Jair Alexander. And he wanted out. So interesting stuff. He would not take the haircut as it's been put. So the Packers let him go and said, okay, we'll work without you, even though they did want to make an effort to keep him. This portion of the program and our guy, Mike Clemens, brought to you by the Bay Motel and Family Restaurant. Bay Motel, just a mile from Lambeau Field. Home-style cooking, by the way, at the restaurant. 7 days a week. But the Bay Motel right there on Military Avenue, stop in, tell them we said hi, but make your reservations now. Whether you're going up for a game, training camp, maybe just going up to check out Green Bay and maybe going over to the Hall of Fame or something like that, check out our friends at the Bay Motel. Go to baymotelgreenbay.com. Call them direct, 920-494-3441, 920-494-3441. That is baymotelgreenbay.com. That is baymotelgreenbay.com. Mike Clemens joining us on the hotline. Michael, how you doing today, pal?
Pretty good. I got to fight some fake news on Twitter. You know, fans think that if they scour Twitter, they're going to uncover facts or something. And unfortunately, you need to keep in mind when I'm standing here 2 feet away from the Packers GM shooting video and posting it, maybe that's what you should go with.
Right.
You know? Like,
oh, God, yeah.
Well, he never said that they were going to, restructure his contract. Yes, we have that down. He doesn't want to talk about that publicly, but trust us, that's what went on. Well, Jair never said he wanted to leave, Yes, try. Well, his fathers, though, said on Twitter, Jair hasn't talked yet. And until we hear from Jair, we'll get the rest of the story. And he'll end up with another team, and then he'll choose to decide to talk about how much his half of the story was. But, we did – Goody came over and waved us over at the first practice after the Packers released him on Monday. And he said, come over here, guys. So we went into this little garage, and we gathered around him. And so we said, all right, so you released him yesterday. Why did you not honor the contract you had with Jair and give him one more chance to see if he could get a whole season together after 3 out of 4 years missing most of the season due to injuries?
Yeah, I think obviously we've done that the past few years, and it hasn't really worked out for us. I think as we went through it was just something, we looked at a lot of different angles, what might be right for the club, and this is kind of where we ended up. But again, it was no bad blood. It's just kind of one of those things where over the last couple of years it hasn't worked out exactly like the ones who, not for no fault of anybody, just the injuries kind of took some games away from them.
Well, Mike, and it's not like they didn't, because people say, well, why'd you wait so long? Well, they were still trying before the mandatory minicamp to bring him in to figure something out to keep him on this team, from what I understand.
Right. I told you we met with Gutekunst at the Combine in a conference room and for over an hour, and the feeling was that, okay, I've talked to Russ Barrow, finance guy. We've lost a lot of money in this play the last couple of years because of injuries, no fault of his own, but whatever. He's only in 7 games last year. He's missed, games out of 3 of the last 4 years. So we need to cut this thing down and restructure, and we'll see where it goes. And Brian said, this has not been a contentious, tense deal for the last 2 or 3 months. It was pretty much the Packers said to his agent, here's the deal that we think he should be brought back at. The agent said, oh, no, we've got a contract. We're good. We'll see at minicamp. So Brian then was asked, and by the way, when Jair did report They sat down and talked to him this past Sunday afternoon. Like it was like last chance. It's not contentious. It's like, dude, what's best for the team is that you take a cut, and we'll see how it goes in 2025. So Brian was asked that question, Bill, that you just asked. Why did you guys wait until June 9th then to release him? And listen carefully what he said.
Yeah, well, I think we wanted to give it as much time as, again, he's a really good player. And so I think we wanted to give it as much time as we could. I think as he came in, had really good conversations with him on Sunday, and I just kind of felt this was what was best.
So Jair's gone, and now you kind of think, okay, there's money there. You gain, I think it's like $17 million on the cap. I think you go from number 10 to or number 13 to number 4 total overall in the National Football League with space. So we know Elgton Jenkins goes from guard to center. It's a less valuable position, even though you do have a lot of responsibility when it comes to that. He is a guy that's there. He's waving to people. He's maybe educating a little bit, but he is not going to risk getting hurt until he gets a new deal done.
Yeah, he reported. He was in the meetings, but he was, not practicing on the field while they work out his deal. And, I heard on the way up to Green Bay, I was listening to the show, listening to you talking to the listeners after Jair had been released, and I thought a lot of listeners brought up a good point. Boy, if your salary cap's up to $45 million, why wouldn't you keep him? So I asked these questions of Brian Gutekunst, about how close are they to restructuring a deal for their new center, Elgton Jenkins.
Yeah, we'll keep those things in-house. We're not going to really talk about contract stuff, but he's here now. He's got a little thing he's working through, but hopefully we'll get him out here soon enough.
Fans will wonder, though, why Jair you were able to keep him when you still got so much left in your salary cap.
Yeah, well, again, I think, over the last 4 years, there's been a lot of games missed. And I just think for what that amount of money is, I think that's a lot to pay for a guy who hasn't been able to get out on the field. Again, it's not his fault. It's just something that kind of transpired. So we just we're looking for something different.
Mike, I got to be honest. I'm driving over from Rice Lake to Road America last night, and I'm listening to the NFL Network, and they get on the source of the Packers. They talk a little bit about Elgton Jenkins, Jair being released. You would have thought they took Jerry Rice and made him a safety. I mean, that's it was like, oh, can you believe that they're doing this? And it's not unprecedented, but oh my goodness, And I'm thinking, this is a guy that they really like his work ethic. He's been pretty good on special. Bo Melton. They like his work ethic. They think he's pretty good on special teams. He doesn't mind hitting and being hit. And because he's a practice dog and he's just a dog, man. And they think maybe this is a way to keep this guy on the team. If his brother can play corner, maybe something rubs off. We've seen wide receivers do it, and maybe it just gives them a little bit of depth. But oh my God, if that's the big controversy in camp, the Packers are smiling pretty, man.
They're just looking for options. And, they did this a year or two ago with that third-string quarterback, and they moved him to tight end because he's a good athlete. He's a good player. But, we're good at quarterback,
Right.
So Bo Melton is a guy who comes in as a wide receiver. His brother, Max Melton, is a corner for the Cardinals. And Bo Melton, has earned his keep here. Not only is a guy who can jump in there at wide receiver, but he's done really well on special teams for Rich Bisaccia, even on coverage teams in terms of tackling. And LaFleur said, we recognized this a year or two ago when he was coming up through the ranks at practice squad like this. Maybe this guy could play some defense. Now, Bo Melton's not happy about this. To me, it's a little bittersweet. And so he was asked, how did your brother, Max, the defensive back out there with Arizona, how did he react when he heard the news that they got you trying out at cornerback?
Yeah, so when he seen it, he called me like, what the hell are you doing? I ain't telling him. Just because, I've been playing wide out. It's just something that, came up. I'm going to, give it a shot. If it works, it works.
He's not happy. If it works, it works. I mean, but it keeps you on a team, maybe making, keeping a paycheck, I guess is the best way to put it.
They're so deep now at wide receiver. Yeah. Let's take a look at the facts. Gutekunst has been packing a parachute since February when Jair did not jump on board with restructuring. So they went out and got Nate Hobbs, a veteran out of the Raiders. You still got Carrington Valentine coming in his third year. You did draft a corner late in the draft and all that, and then you start talking about the wide receiver room and just how deep that is. And then not only do you draft 2 wide receivers, the number 1 pick in the first round as well with Golden is McCole Hardman, who has got 3 Super Bowl rings with the Chiefs, went to the Jets, had it, an injury year with that, and then, of course, the Jets, the wheels came off. He went back to the Chiefs. So now they bring him in. And, one guy was saying to me at the sidelines, do you think number 6, who is Hardman, you think you can make this team as a wide receiver? I mean, would they keep him just to be kickoff and punt return? No sooner you say that than about 4 plays later on 11-on-11, Jordan Love backs up, plants his foot, throws the ball 60 yards in the air in a perfect spiral. Packers actually posted this video on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
He hits McCole Hardman in stride. It was beautiful. And I turned and I said, yeah, I think he can make the team as
right?
a 5th or 6th wide receiver. So we asked Hardman, after your time with the Chiefs, 3 Super Bowl rings, and then the Jets, how do you view coming to Green Bay?
The new opportunity, I think it's one of those like fresh starts, and the Packers just welcome me with open arms and giving me the opportunity to go out there and showcase my skills, and it's good enough for me, and I just got to go out there and take advantage of it.
Now, Mike, another guy that's come in and has received very little fanfare, but when the deal went down, people went, watch this. This might be one of the bigger deals in the offseason. And I'm excited about the linebacker Isaiah Simmons. Nobody's talking about this guy.
Maybe he's another Devondre Campbell.
Right.
He was 8th overall in the draft when the Cardinals picked him. Then he kind of got that tag of being a hybrid linebacker. Ooh, he can play linebacker. He can play nickel. He can play safety. He says, actually, I've been tagged that, and it kind of drives me crazy. And so after leaving the Giants last year, he talked about he likes the focus he's gotten after talking to the defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, and why he came to the Packers.
I mean, honestly, when I came here, they were nothing but up front. They're like, we're just going to be completely candid. Like most of our guys are coming back. There are a few pieces that we need, and you would happen to be one of them. So they let me know that in the other places that they're good at that position, which that's amazing, because a lot of times when I had to be moved around, it was due to like maybe injuries of guys not being able to play, or some people maybe just weren't good enough to play there. So then I would have to be moved around and whatnot. So that was actually really encouraging to come in and know that I was going to have like a specific role and just how it's going to help the team, and I can focus on that.
Mike, you mentioned Jordan Love. I want to go back to that because you had talked about, and I've heard you with me and others, where you say, look, we have not seen Jordan Love just step into a pass 60 yards, rainbow it, and have the timing down like we've seen in this. Now, again, nobody's got pads on, no big defenders going after you. You don't have pressure, but it looks like there's something different.
Hey, he wasn't hitting these passes 3 years ago. He's hitting the long ball. And so at the end of the day, when you talk about the offense and taking the next step after last year's disappointments, I said to Jordan, have you been thinking about in the offseason, like, okay, what do I need to do to really get it going with Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks to the next level in your 3rd year together?
Definitely. That's really the whole part of the offense that we need to keep growing, keep finding that consistent, just being on the same page with each other. Every play, there's a couple plays where we'll have some good body language I'm able to read and understand where they're going to be at. There's some times where we're just not on the same page. So I think, that just comes with reps and being on the same page and going through different things, seeing different looks with every play we do. So, every rep we get is very valuable in that. And that's going to be the test for us this year is how close can we get, how much can we be on the same page? Because, my time with Aaron and Devontae, just being able to see 2 guys that are just on the same page, flowing, know where they're going to be at. It's tough for defense to stop that.
Mike, it's also when you settle down and your life begins to settle down. The guy's getting ready to get married. Sometimes you find that structure where everything just all of a sudden falls into place.
Yeah, Love came to talk to us for a second time, which is nice. He just talked to us a week or 2 ago in the OTAs, and now we know that, we say goodbye until the start of training camp on the 23rd of July. And after, several football questions, there was that lull, and people say, anything else? I go, yeah, I want to know about the wedding. Because he talked to us in New Orleans at the Super Bowl about the wedding, how he and Ronica have booked an In-N-Out Burger semi-truck for snacks at the reception.
That's
so
fantastic.
I asked him, hey, when's the wedding, man?
When's the wedding?
When's the wedding? It's coming up here soon. A couple weeks out.
You know, the burger truck, is that going to happen?
It's going to happen. Yes, that is a dream. Especially being from Cali, if you know in and out.
Absolutely.
It's a dream right there. Absolutely. Excited about that.
I have to call. How is the wedding planning going? And, how much are you taking part in it?
It's been going great. We have a wedding planner that's been helping us with a lot of stuff. And Ronica's been really involved with handling all this stuff. And, I've been weighing in on some of the things, some of the different areas. But it's been good. I'm sure a couple weeks out it might pick up, get a little more hectic with it right around the corner. But it's been awesome. We're excited. We're ready for it. So excited to get that going.
It would be the equivalent of having Calderon Club here in Wisconsin or Skyline Conies, from down in Cincinnati. Yeah, something like that. Mike, hang in there. We got a lot more to get to. Mike Clemens joining us on the hotline. Stay tuned. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. 6/30/2025.
The Big River Rally coming to La Crosse, Wisconsin, June 27th and 28th. Don't miss the excitement on the main stage Friday night. It's Texas Hippie Coalition. And Saturday night Drowning Pool. Tickets are on sale now. Want more? Follow Big River Rally on social or go to BigRiverRally.com.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
When you look at the construction of the roster this year, obviously it leaves a hole when you lose a lockdown corner like him. What do you feel about the team's ability to absorb that type of hit?
I feel pretty good. I think Keyshawn Nixon, what a great story. He's undrafted, all-pro returner, and and the reality is, for like the last 4 years, Jair's about half of the games he's been able to play. So, kind of we've been used to it.
Kind of been used to it. Welcome back. Mike Clemens joining us on the hotline. Mike, Matt LaFleur, speaking of Mark Murphy, this was it for him, last minicamp.
Last minicamp practice, and the last practice while Mark Murphy is the CEO and president of the team after 17 years. And I saw Mark crossing the street going back to the office holding a helmet that had a bunch of signatures. And I said to Matt LaFleur, what did you do for Mark at the end of practice?
Yeah, so the guys signed a helmet for him, and certainly, obviously, and like, I think I can speak for everybody within our football space, just how appreciative we are of Mark and the kind of leader that he is. And I think as great of a leader as he is, he's an even better man. And just, appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of this great organization, and certainly has changed my life, my family's life. But I also I love the way he leads. I mean, he's going to let you do your job. And
Mike, great stuff as always, pal. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Bill.
There you go. The great Mike Clemens. More from Road America coming up next.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Well, the Brewers would win 6-0 over the Cardinals yesterday at American Family Field during starting pitcher Jacob Mizorowski's major league debut. The Big Righty would pitch 5 no-hit innings of all with 5 strikeouts and 4 walks, but would leave the game in the 6th with cramping in his right calf and quad. Manager Pat Murphy talks on the performance of his starting pitcher.
He was impressive every way you look at it. I think he was super nervous before the game, and that's to be expected, but I think he handled it really, really well, and William did a great job with him.
Yesterday also saw pitcher Aaron Savale request a trade from the Brewers after being moved from a starting role to the bullpen. The Crew will continue on against the Cardinals. Game 2 of their 4-game series tonight is at 7:10 from American Family Field.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
The Packers closed out their minicamp yesterday, and usually the last day is a team-building exercise, but head coach Matt LaFleur opted to practice instead. Here's more from him as the offseason wraps up.
Everybody feels good this time of the year. The thing that's most positive, I would say, for the most part, we had pretty good attendance. We had the majority of our guys here for the duration, and I think that, it's been fun to kind of watch how these guys grow, especially guys maybe going in their second year. They're so much further along than they were a year ago.
Up next for the Packers, it'll be training camp at the end of July. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
Welcome in. Hour number 2 of the Bill Michaels Show. Hour number 1 for many of you around the great state of Wisconsin. we continue our summer tour. We've been in La Crosse. We went to Eau Claire. We were in Wausau. We're going to be in Kenosha next week. Rice Lake yesterday. And today we are in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at Road America. And if you're watching on the live stream, how are we looking? Good stuff. Thanks for joining us. You're looking at the start-finish line of Road America, where they have numerous things taking place today here. I'll tell you about that coming up momentarily. But you've got the big Brewers news. The Brewers make a trade, and they ended up sending Savali away. Aaron Savali is now off to the White Sox. The Brewers picked up Vaughn, a struggling first baseman, who they hope to maybe resurrect his career in Milwaukee. But, hey, they got a guy that was not happy here. They got him out. They picked up some depth on the infield. And now you just kind of wait and see. But the story last night was Mizorowski and coming in and throwing the first couple of pitches at about 100 miles an hour and just throwing a stellar game. Brewers going to win 6-0. Savali, not a part of that. He couldn't do what Mizorowski was doing, that's for sure. So when Mizorowski comes in, heats it up, looks extremely good doing it, was kind of like, yeah, the Brewers made the right decision. I'm good with that. Until you're sitting there watching this and you go, man, this kid's good. God, he's got a good off-speed pitch. And I say off-speed because whether it's a swerve or whether it's a change or whether it's curveball, I mean, whatever you want to call it, okay? Because now they've got names for everything. But when you look at it, you're like, man, when he heats it up, he's throwing a fastball that's got movement at about 100. And then when he gives you the change or the off-speed pitch, it drops off the table at about 90. And that's a big difference when guys are kind of setting up for that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And last night, a couple of times, he caught the lower right-hand part of the plate, right in that box, that strike box on a change. Got him looking, got him swinging. So last night was fun to watch. He gets the win. And until he rolled the ankle. And then you're like, oh, my God, just stay healthy. And then you kind of roll the ankle. You're like, oh, kind of a basketball type of injury. He's just stepping back on the mound, walking backwards, and rolled that ankle. But all in all, not a bad night. It's a hell of a way to start your career, man. That's for damn sure. So a lot of fun down at the ballpark. Brewers going to win 6-0. And back at it again as they take on the Cardinals coming up this evening. But in the grand scheme of things, the Brewers beating the Cardinals, even though they did not gain any ground on the Cubs, they are still sitting 5.5 games back. I sound almost like a parrot just repeating myself. They did overtake the Cardinals for second place in the division. So the Brewers have now got a win under their belt while the Cardinals have now lost 5 in a row. So the Brewers are just like keeping pace with the Cubs. Everybody says, well, the Cubs are the best team. The Brewers got off to a slow start, but they basically have played exactly the same baseball over the last 3 weeks. So the Brewers just dug themselves a hole. They're trying to dig out of it. Unfortunately, the Cubs aren't losing, but they're winning and losing at the same time. The Cubs, though, are scoring runs at a record pace. They are plus 104 in run differential. The only team better than them is the team that's hitting bombs consistently, and that's the Yankees, who are plus 107 on the season. Everybody else, I think the best is plus 95. That's the Mets. Even you look at the mighty Dodgers, they're only plus 68 on the season when it comes to run differential. But the Cubs, they are in the 100 column, plus 104, and we're not even to the All-Star break yet. Brewers are plus 22, so that gives you a little bit of the. And think about this: Cincinnati's plus 33. The problem is Cincinnati will score; they'll get a win 17-4, and then the next 3 games they'll lose 6-0, 5-0, 8-0. It's just that's the way Cincinnati goes. So the Cincinnati Reds are plus 23 or plus 33, but they're sitting 7 games back right now, as they lost again yesterday. So Brewers and Cardinals back down at the ballpark coming up tonight. And hopefully the Brewers get themselves yet another win. You got the Brewers, Freddie Peralta on the hill against Fetty tonight for the Cardinals. Cubs and Pirates again down at Wrigley. That is a 1:20 start time this afternoon, and Horton goes today for the Cubs, but they're facing Paul Skeens. So maybe Skeens, who is probably one of the biggest benefactors of craptastic offense in Major League Baseball. Skeens comes into this game 4-6 with a 1.88 ERA. You talk about a bad luck pitcher, man. He would probably be about 9-0 or 8-1 on a decent team. But since the Pirates just suck swamp water, he just toils away down in anonymity with a 1.88 ERA and just having a hell of a season, but can't get any run support, unfortunately. So anyway, you got the Packers wrapping up their mini camp yesterday. You've got, Florida got off to a fast start in the NHL last night, only to see the Oilers come back and wreck their night with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in attendance. And they now fall down, they being the Florida Panthers. Well, I take it back. It's tied at 2 apiece now in that series. Each team's 1-1 on the road and 1-1 at home. So there you go. Now tied at 2 apiece. In the meantime, you've got the NBA getting back at it coming up this evening, back down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And the Oklahoma City Thunder trying to even the series to 2 games apiece as well, as Indiana leads that series 2-1. That's a 7:30 start time down there tonight to see if they can slow down Halliburton and company. And the way the Pacers play, trying to pick up the guard 65, 70 feet down court, getting turnovers, creating points off of turnovers and such. We'll see if the Thunder have an answer for that coming up this evening. So there you go. That's kind of your wrap of everything, short of the U.S. Open, which is underway. And I was telling you about that a little bit earlier. And when you look at it, Scotty Scheffler, he's the guy that everybody's kind of thinking, okay, here you go. He's going to start to make a move because he was 2 over for the tournament. And since today got underway, he then started to fall off. He's +1 today and sitting at +4 overall. Now, Scotty, the cut, by the way, is projected to be 4 over, but where the leader is, he is 8 shots off the pace. J.J. Spawn does not tee off until probably 45 minutes from now down there at the U.S. Open, which, by the way, is the Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania. I shouldn't say down there, but over there. And he tees off at 11:52 today. Spawn does, while Scotty Scheffler is now out on the course. So Spawn, Sam Burns is 3 under par, tied with Thurston Lawrence, I should say. And then Victor Hovland is 2 under with Si Woo Kim. So there you go. You're caught up on everything, I believe. I think we're just giving you the rundown. Now, here at Road America, it's a fun day. You've got over 200 kids on the backside of this property, this massive property, that are in the go-kart series that are racing for some, international championship today. Every kid down there wants to be an aspiring driver of some sort, whether it's NASCAR, Formula One, or IndyCar. Okay, they're all down there. In front of us today, you have got called the Drive. You've got an event called the Drive, and a lot of different road cars that are souped up to be race cars. Okay, they're here in front of us, and every time they take a lap, they raise money for the American Cancer Society. So they're doing that, a benefit there. Then down the way, which if you're watching online, you see the TireRack.com. It's the start-finish line right here. I'm sitting at the start-finish line in the media center right here on the track at Road America. So just off to the left of that, down the hill, is the Corvette Club. And the Corvette Club is down there doing a thing today. I don't know specifically what they have going on. But then behind me, and I'm going to post video of it because during the top of the hour break, I ran out and caught some video, is, if you know the singer, the rapper, T-Pain. Well, he has a version of Grid Life called Nappy Boy Automotive. And Nappy Boy Automotive is out here in a 100 by 200 yard parking lot, and they've got drifting going on. And they're racing drifting to see who can get through the course the fastest. And they got cars lined up out there. There's a crowd out there. T-Pain was in the suite, 3 suites over from me just a little while ago. I see his production company down there. His family is upstairs in a VIP suite, and there are fans everywhere. They've got a concert here later tonight where he is going to have T-Pain karaoke going on. And then I think he's playing a show at the Rave tomorrow night in Milwaukee. But all of that, it's stuffing 10 pounds of crap into a 2-pound bag here today at Road America. And oh, by the way, next week, starting on Thursday, really before that, because the carriers start rolling in earlier than that. But next week, IndyCar is here. We'll be up here for that as well. So all of it, I'm out of breath. I'm worn out of breath. All that's going on up here at Road America. So There you go. I don't even know what else to say to all of that. If you want to chime in, you can. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. John Ewert, who is the vice president of everything, as I like to call him, up here at Road America, he is going to join me coming up here bottom of the hour. We'll go through what's going on up here. And then, like I said, we'll talk a little bit about IndyCar coming up next week. And we've also got Matt LaFleur we're going to hear from. Gary D'Amato is going to talk to us about the U.S. Open today. We had Mike Clemens on a little earlier. We're going to hear that later on in the last hour of the program again, in case you missed it. So there is a lot of stuff happening right now. Hit us up, 877-867-1670. You want to text us, 608-321-1670, 608-321-1670. So there you go. That's going on. Also, if you want to hit us up on YouTube and watch the program and check out where we're at as the tour for 2025 continues, you can go to youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show, youtube.com/Bill Michaels, Michaels, Bill Michaels Show. You can find us there. You can hit us up on X, on Twitter, @Bill_Michaels, @Bill_Michaels. You can also find us in many of the different social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube. I had mentioned you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. We are on the Twitch app, the Kick app, the LinkedIn app as well. All of those under The Bill Michaels Show or Bill Michaels Show or an amalgamation thereof. You can search us and find us. Good stuff there. You can also track us down and listen to us anywhere and everywhere on our app, which is WOZN, our mighty flagship out of Madison, Wisconsin, WOZN, The Zone Madison. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts after the fact. And then we are a television show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time. We are on My 24 TV in Milwaukee. That is My 24 TV in Milwaukee. Austin, how are you doing today, intern Austin?
I'm doing fantastic. I was on Ebo's show this morning. We got some barbecue delivered.
Did you really?
Yeah, there was some barbecue in the break room. We sprinted to that as soon as we heard that.
Nice.
That's the thing I've learned about radio is no matter what time of food or what time it is, you can have whatever food you want if it's free. We had barbecue at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
8 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Whenever it tastes better free.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it is it tastes better when it's free. So that's fantastic stuff. So when the trade went down, you being the Cubs fan that you are, did you suddenly become nervous because the Brewers are now breathing down your neck?
Hey, they're going for it, I guess, if you want to put it that way. We broke it on the news during a call, and then we were wondering we were waiting to see who they would get back. And Andrew Vaughn it's definitely not the worst trade you could have gotten back for him. I think he has options. I think he was in the minors with the White Sox right now. So he has options. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Because right now Yelich is the DH and he plays mostly first with Hoskins. So he might platoon with Hoskins, I would imagine. Or they leave him in the minors for a couple weeks, see if he figures it out. But an easy change of scenery candidate. He's a former top pick. So he could have something else. Could have something in the tank.
If they can figure something out and maybe get a little more offense out of him, then it wouldn't be a bad move. If you get a little defense, a little offense, just somebody that can give you depth, not a bad way to go. And he's got a little bit of pop, not a lot. It's not like he's going to come in and start mashing home runs. And, if you can get to, between now and the end of the season, if you can get 10 to 12 out of him, I think you're probably milking that cow pretty hard. So. Yeah.
Trading a pitcher for a bat is perfect in what the Brewers needed right now. Right. Like they have enough pitching. They obviously need offense. Take a chance on a flyer. Never know.
Exactly. No, I completely agree with that. So all of that going on. That's what's happening there. Again, I know some Brewers fans were like, "That's all you got," but again, you're not trading away Paul Skeens for a rum dum. You're trading a guy that's coming back from injury, trying to work he was the odd man out of a rotation in which they were bringing up a rookie. Think about the value there. Okay.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if Savale goes out and has a couple decent starts with the White Sox in the next month that they flip him at the deadline. Wouldn't even be surprised at that.
So there you go. By the way, for those that some people over on the live stream are saying that they were watching some of the go-karters. I don't know if they've got, I guess there's a live stream of that. I don't know. I haven't looked it up, but the go-karts back there, they can get it going. Some of the go-karts, when you're talking about the race carts, they can get over 100 miles an hour. But on the course that they have here at Road America, I can't imagine that because it is a road course. It's not an oval. And it goes up and down hills. It's a kind of undulation in this area. And by the way, it's fun as hell. If you've never done it, oh my God, it's just a great time. And it's always during the race weekends, it's always booked up. I mean, the kids down there, it's just one kid after the other I shouldn't say booked up like reservation, but it's booked up like it's just packed with kids and adults doing it. So it's a lot of fun. But you're right. Some of those go-karts, they can fly. I mean, they just get going in those things. But here at Road America, they have the International Championship of I think it's over 200 kids are over the hill racing in the go-karts right now. So there you go. I had a question, and I wanted to answer this off of the live stream. It was basically saying, hey, what is your reaction to Bo Melton? And again, I cannot get over the fact that this is like this major discussion. But Bo Melton going to a corner position, if he can at any depth, great. And again, we beat this horse yesterday. I'll talk about it real quick today. But basically, you're saying, hey, Bo Melton is a guy that they like. They picked him up for a reason. He's a practice dog. He's a special teams dog. He gives you everything he has. Okay, and you like guys like that. Guys that practice hard. They play. They practice the same way they play. You like guys like that. That's a football player. He's not unbelievably gifted. It's not like he's 6'4" with a 36-inch vertical leap and he's a downfield apex guy. It's not like he's a guy that runs a 4.24. It's not like he's a guy that has, extremely long arms and he's unbelievable with the back shoe. He's a guy that's trying to hang on in a very deep wide receiver room, and they're going, look, we got a work dog here. We got a guy this guy's a football player. It's like the Rudy he's the Rudy of the wide receiver room, right? And we're just trying to figure out a way to keep this guy around. And if he can help us out in the corner position, just in case guys go down and we've got some depth, so be it. You do everything you can to keep football players around. And if you just don't have space for him, you don't have space for him. But at least then you can say you tried. Now, is he happy about it? No, he's not happy about it. He wants to be a wide receiver. He wants to get the ball. But if he can go in and help you out on special teams, if he can help you out in the secondary, then he's still playing football and collecting a paycheck. He could end up as a wide receiver on another team because there's not a lot of teams in the NFL that has as deep a pool when it comes to the wide receiver room as the Packers do. Now, do the Packers have, a bunch of number ones? No. Somebody will emerge. You would hope, you would assume that would be Matthew Golden eventually, right? Because that's kind of what you're paying him for and where you pick him. But right now, you got a deep pool. So, I don't know if you're seeing that go by, but somebody's Corvette wrecked. How'd you like to bring your own Corvette out here and just slam that thing into a wall? Oh, that's a tough break right there. I don't care who you are. Anyway, that being said, he's just trying to hang on. So I don't have a problem with it. If it works out and he can help you and he adds depth, that's great. But you're not replacing Jair Alexander with Bo Melton. You replaced Jair Alexander. You made the appropriate accommodations for Jair Alexander when you brought in Nate Hobbs. That's who backed him up. Keyshawn Nixon wants to be CB1. You've got other guys back there that can play corner. And then, obviously Carrington Valentine. Okay, you've got him. Then you've got, don't forget, you've got some other guys that are back there, including a guy like Javon Bullard, who can play both the safety position and they can use him in, say, the nickel position if need be. So he's back there. There's some guys they really like in that secondary. They drafted Micah Robinson. They've got Kalen King. They like him. They've got some people back there that can play that position. So you've got Hobbs, you got Bullard, you got Nixon, you got Micah Robinson, Kalen King, Carrington Valentine. You have those guys. You like Zane. Zane Anderson was playing pretty solid football before he got hurt. We were kind of getting high on him last year, remember? And he can even come into the safety position and play that. Katana Ladapo. He's another guy, 5th-round draft choice, to play behind Xavier McKinney. And by the way, you got Xavier McKinney in your secondary. So I don't think it's a terrible secondary. And remember, you didn't have Jair for 8-9 games last year? So you're not replacing Jair with Bo Melton. You're just seeing if you can add some depth. That's about the extent of it. There you go. All right, let's do this. We'll step out. We'll take a quick break. We got a lot more to get to. Coming up bottom of the hour, John Ewert is going to be joining us. He is what I call the vice president of everything here at Road America, and he'll give us a lowdown on everything racing, everything that's going on out here in this incredible. I love Road America. It's just a tremendous, tremendous place. I always have, always will. It's just a very special place to myself. So good stuff. Let's do this. We'll step out. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got a lot more to get to. Don't go anywhere. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends over there at Big Boar Barbecue. Right there. Had a chance to stop in and say hi. I didn't get a chance to see the guys, though. But over there in West Salem, Wisconsin, BigBoarBBQ.com, whether it's a breakfast sandwich, which they now have, lunches, dinners, they cater. So if you got a graduation party here in the next few weeks or by the end of the month and you need somebody to do it, there you go. In a pinch, they got you covered. That is Big Boar, B-O-A-R, BigBoarBBQ.com. That is BigBoarBBQ.com. Whether it's the ribs or the chicken or the pulled pork or the golden mac and cheese and that really, really good coleslaw. Oh, it's so good. I can almost taste it just sitting here. I'm now drooling on myself. BigBoarBBQ.com.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Bill Michaels Show. We are live. We are in the Media Center. start-finish line of Road America. We're glad to have you. Coming up here, bottom of the hour, John Ewert is going to be joining us. I call him the vice president of everything up here. He'll be joining us in a few. And our friends over there at Veteran America bring you this portion of the program. Go to veteransamerica.com. If you're a veteran, a military member, if you are a family member thereof, and you're looking for a property, if you're looking for a second mortgage, refi, rental property, whatever it happens to be, go to veteransamerica.com. That is veteransamerica.com. Get a hold of our buddy James directly, 262-255-2000. It's 262-255-2000, and check that out. Got an email to get to real quick, and I wanted to do that, and then we'll get to the bottom of the hour here. But our buddy Aaron says, happy Friday. I tuned in to watch Jacob Mizorowski last night, and it certainly did not disappoint. He has all the tools needed to be a star. The fastball, fine, but his ability to change speeds is what's going to end up making it effective. It was funny to watch the StatCast during the game continue to call his pitches wrong. His 92-mile-an-hour changeup kept coming up as a two-seam fastball, which is true. It was funny. If he continues to play extremely well, we're going to better enjoy him before it's time to get him paid. Unfortunately, have a great weekend, which I don't even want to think about that. I get where you're coming from. I don't want to think about that just yet, because I hate to say it, but you're right. You're going to watch this guy just ascend, man. He's going to be one of those pitchers. Now, unless, think about it, let's say he has a tremendous season this year, right? From here on out, he pitches, goes 7-4, right? But his ERA is 2.23. Would you think that the Brewers would kind of pull a Jackson Churio on him and give him one of those 8-year contracts for $100 million? Real quick, try to get him locked up right here, right now. Think about it, right? Our buddy Steve says, what a great overall game by the Crew last night. Miz appears to be the real deal. And like you, like you said, Ortiz starting to heat up a little bit. The most impressive part about Ortiz's game last night was his hustle. First, he hit the hustle double, then almost passed Turang to score on the single, which I did see that. It was like bang, bang. It was almost like out of that scene in Major League where they scored on both sides of the catcher. Great to see the hustle out of the Brewers. Murphy gets the best out of his team. Packers OTAs are over with. McManus hitting a 58-yard bomb to end the OTA sessions, which, by the way, is true. Still nothing more than positive news about Jordan Love and the Young Guns. I also read that Jordan Morgan was taking snaps at the left tackle with the number ones. He did, by the way. And lastly, did you see that Antonio Brown is wanted on attempted murder charges? Thank goodness he was never a Green Bay Packer. Have a great weekend. Go, Crew, go. I saw something about it, and I just rolled my eyes. Nothing will surprise me regarding Antonio Brown, just an FYI. Nothing will surprise me. All right, let's do this. We'll step out, come back. Got more talking to do from up here at Road America. Stay tuned. We got more right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess the next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. 6/30/2025.
Phil Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Phil Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
then over in Wausau. We were in Kenosha. We were back up to Rice Lake and now down to Elkhart Lake, back in Kenosha next week. This portion of the program, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Point Brewing. Brewing excellence since 1857. Summer is here. So is the Lakeside Pale Ale. My favorite, the Drop Dead Blonde. Don't forget about the Amber Lagers and all the NA stuff, including the creamsicles, the Concord Grape, and the traditional root beer, all coming out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Stevens Point and Point Brewing, synonymous with one another since 1857. Joining me here inside of the media center, I call you the vice president of everything. People always ask me what your title is. I don't know. I said he's the vice president of everything. That's the guy I go to for everything. John Ewert joining us here inside the media center. My God, you've got a lot going on.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. We got a lot of stuff going on today, definitely, and that's just leading us into the summer. You know, we've had 3 great events, a record event for Moto America, the largest motorcycle event in Road America's history. Was
Which
when Moto
Harley
America
won was huge.
Yeah, and now we're going into IndyCar, so it's going to be just incredible with the Expel Grand Prix as well.
Well, let's start with the off season and the track, because you have paved the paddock down below the gearbox down there, which is fantastic, and you're adding garages and everything there. So start there, and then let's talk about the rest of the improvements to the track.
Yeah, lots of things that people don't see, but you will see when you come here this summer, some and then some others. North Paddock was paved over the offseason. We're adding more garage space down there, so that's great for competitors. Also expanding the roadway up to the false grid, so it allows competitors to get from the North Paddock up to essentially the grid to move out onto the track without having to bother anybody on the Bender Midway and up and down the hill and things like that. Helps alleviate traffic. Huge, brand new, amazing golf cart and pedestrian walkover bridge along the front straight. Just incredible, as well as some new viewing areas as well. That's great because that's only for golf carts and pedestrians, so you don't have to worry about trying to go through the tunnel, get out of the way of somebody, things like that. We also have a wonderful overlook at Turn 12, which we're adamantly naming the North Pole because it's probably the northernmost part of the property, which is a great way to look down over Turn 12. You have the bluffs at Turn 11. You have the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty Beach over at Turn 11 with a taco truck, volleyball nets, beach chairs, palm trees, and a shark.
Wow.
New carvings around the property.
Yeah, people don't realize you guys added a beach
Yes.
to the backside of this if you've never been.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
Probably the only road course in North America, the only racetrack in North America that has a beach where you can put your feet in the sand and actually watch world-class racing, as well as sit under a shade tree and watch world-class racing.
Yeah.
So we like to, people have talked to us about a marina or a pool. As we well know, Wisconsin's known for its lakes, so we're kind of we're thinking about it, but we don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the pool thing is a great idea. It's just you got to get a lifeguard.
Got to get a lifeguard.
I wonder what margarita machine, people in water.
Pool toys, people not wanting to get out.
Maybe an ankle waiter or
you
something.
never know.
Maybe an ankle waiter. I don't know if you put a full pool in there, just collect bodies at the end of the night. But man, there is something for everybody. This is one of my favorite places. I've always said it's like a national park that you can go camping, and oh, by the way, it's got a racetrack in the middle.
It truly is. It truly is. I love telling these stories because it's so fun to see everybody here camping. When the cars aren't on track, you do feel like you're staying in a national park. Racers will walk around the property. They love to stay here in their motorhomes and their RVs, so it's really neat when you're down at your campsite, setting up the bonfire, grilling some burgers, and all of a sudden Will Power rides up on a scooter, or Joseph Newgard.
I think it was Will Power. Who was the one? Because you guys do the contest for the best site, the best campsite. Excuse me. And they had all the heads of like their favorite driver. And they didn't recognize him right away when he comes up and goes, "Hey, you guys got something to eat?"
Sure.
And then they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, well, what was it? Will Power?
Will Power.
Will Power." And they're like, "Holy crap, it's Will Power."
It's Will Power. Your head's right over there. Yeah. So, it's just really neat. And everybody looks forward to doing it. The drivers, the racers, they bring their families. They make a vacation out of it because it is one of their favorite stops on the tour to sort of take a deep breath, and unwind a little bit. They've been dealing with racing with the Indy 500, a couple other events prior to that. They're down at Worldwide Technology Raceway this weekend, but they're coming up for the Expel Grand Prix. And it's just really, really neat to sort of see them all come in, kind of relax, kind of unwind, but also really be able to focus during practice and qualifying to get ready for the race on Sunday.
So today, as you and I were talking earlier, you said, it's like putting, 10 pounds of stuff into a 2-pound bag.
Sure.
You've got over 200 kids racing at the Motoplex at the go-kart center.
200 kids racing at the Motorplex as part of our kart racing program, as well as various series that come in. We also have the Drive event for charity out there where lots of street legal vehicles are actually giving rides.
Did you see the guy in the Corvette crash?
Exactly. Yeah, he's fine. Probably hurt his pride.
I was going to say, who cares about him? He just wrecked his car, man.
I'm sure there's some tears coming from his checkbook. But, so the drive event for charity is going on track, which is a wonderful way that people raise money. The Laborers Experience was here a few weeks ago. We raised over $100,000 for various charities in northern Wisconsin. And then also T-Pain is here with Wisconsin Fear Fest. So you've got drifting and carnival rides and all kinds of other cool stuff going on right behind the tower where we sit right here.
I just posted, by the way, for those that follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I ran out, just looked over the trees and got them drifting as they were doing, he was doing the cars over there. So I just got a video of that. So I posted that.
Yeah. I mean, we have our hands in kind of everything. Speaking of IndyCar, Saturday night of IndyCar, right over at the Plymouth Dirt Track, we have the Road America Challenge at the Plymouth Dirt Track. So you got sprint cars, World of Outlaw cars, wing sprints and wingless sprints. And that's going to be incredible too. So if you're camping here for IndyCar, jump on a shuttle at Gate 4, head on over to the Plymouth Dirt Track, watch some great racing over there, and then get ready for Sunday for the Expel Grand Prix.
Yeah, I can't wait for next weekend. It's kind of again, packing it personally and professionally into a bag, both with the baby shower going on and then getting back out here to catch everything that's happening.
We just like to tell everybody, plan early, show up early, print your tickets at home, have them on your phone.
I was just going to say that.
Issues. Be ready to have things scanned at the gate. You can breeze right through. We have express gates. So that's what's cool too. 3 and 4 is you can kind of come in, show your printed home ticket, show it on your phone, scan it, get right in, go to your favorite spot, bring your lawn chairs, your easy ups, your sunscreen. I think the weather's going to be pretty good next weekend too. So
it looks like on Saturday, it's just a chance of pop-ups and Sunday looks good.
Plus we race in the rain, so just come prepared, bring a trash bag, throw it over your head. Once the sky is clear, cars will still be on track. It's incredible.
Next week you talked about the tickets. Let's talk about, because you and I were talking about space, and some people were saying, well, you still have space for camping and RV.
Yeah.
You just don't have the power hookups and everything. And if you always have your normal spot, chances are it's probably sold. There's a lot of overflow spaces around here. Because you never sell out.
We never sell out. And we just kind of like to encourage people, if you have a trailer, a fifth wheeler, or an RV or something like that, make sure your generator's fueled up so you have power. And we can find definitely a spot for you in one of our overflow areas. So it's still available. Plus, we have some suite and hospitality access available, which is also a great way to sort of get out of things if you want to. So we just encourage people to go to roadamerica.com, check it out, make sure to get your tickets early, your hospitality, your camping. And also, I think there may be still some golf carts available. That's a great way to get around.
I recommend that.
Bicycles are great if you're camping. Not really encouraging any skateboards or any of the e-scooters, but if you have a bike or a mountain bike, it's a great way to get around, see things, because the paddock's open too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're kind of like, imagine being down on the field at American Family Field or down on the field at Lakeville Field. You can walk right up and watch the teams work on the cars, see the drivers. All
IndyCar allows that. And I've always said, I know NASCAR, everybody talks about it and everything, but NASCAR does not allow you. And as a matter of fact, they not only gate it off, they put covers up around it so you can't even see. IndyCar, you can almost reach over and touch the cars that's being worked on.
You're right there, and you get to see them. You can talk to the engineers while they're having a break, figure out what's going on. It's just really neat. And sometimes the drivers even come over, they'll give you a little tchotchke or an autograph or a picture. It's just some of the most fan-friendly atmosphere you can really imagine.
And you've got, IndyCar is the big one, but you've got so much more going on. And Grid Life is back.
Yeah, Grid Life's coming back again this year. That's going to be in July. And then also at the end of June, we have Trans Am. So we're going to be parading Trans Am cars into Plymouth Friday night of June 27th. So that's pretty cool as far as the Cheese Capital Cup goes. But sure, Grid Life's coming back. So that's music festival, drifting, time attack, all kinds of stuff going on track. I think they just announced their lineup. It's on roadamerica.com right now, as well as on socials. But more music will be coming, different EDM artists, different DJs. That's something really kind of cool.
That was crazy last year.
Yeah, you have lasers, you have smoke. They even did kind of a silent concert where everybody wore headsets, but you still get to hear the music and be amongst everything.
Yeah.
So it's really neat. The laser show is just fantastic at night.
Yeah, it really is.
We really love it when they're here because it's just so much fun. It's kind of the future of motorsports where you mix music and time attack and stuff on track and all that kind of stuff. So we're just glad they're back.
It's different and it's young and you and I were talking like, look, we've got a lot of guys out on track that have money and can afford to race these cars.
Sure.
And they're out there in the dad jorts and White Sox and the whole thing, But then you've got the young people that come in for the EDM concerts, that see racing. You've got the drifting going on behind us with T-Pain that brings a younger blood. There's a growing audience for this.
Yeah, we like to tell people pick your flavor, and sometimes it's really cool too, because you might come here for an on-track event or a charity event or an actual race, but then also come back for a music event. You'll see sort of all sorts of generations amongst it, because the car culture and the motorsports culture and also the music culture, it all kind of melds together really, really well, especially in Wisconsin. So we're just really excited to see all that stuff happening. And the more stuff we can kind of cram in here, we'll do it.
So what else do you have coming up for the remainder of the season? You got is it the Brian Redmond Challenge still?
Yeah, absolutely. Vintage in mid-July is great. The WeatherTech Vintage Weekend. Adam Carolla will be here. He'll be doing a comedy show Thursday night. We also have the most amazing parade of vintage race cars into Elkhart Lake Friday night. There'll be all sorts of cars on track Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday night, sports cars will parade into Elkhart Lake. Well, they won't be parading. They'll be parked in Elkhart Lake. That's a sports car concourse as well. So we have that. The end of July is Grid Life. And then you move into IMSA, which is amazing. Get your tickets early, get your golf carts, get your camping as well, because a huge field of cars for IMSA will be racing here. And that is after they're coming off of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. These are the same kind of cars you're going to see in that event. So they're coming here the first part of August. Then you move through with World Challenge, more sports cars, more fun, more sorts of really cool things going on. I believe they're going to have some cars in downtown Elkhart Lake for that event too. Rolls right into, we're celebrating our 70th anniversary for the VSCDA Fall Vintage Festival presented by Aaron's. So Aaron's Art on Wheels. It's really cool because we're going to have cars from the first 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
History dioramas, some races from the first 5 to 10 years, as well as a Ferris wheel, fireworks. So definitely with your admission, you'll be able to also see the fireworks. I think that's going to be on Friday night.
And season tickets are still available on your site as well. If you want to get something for all of this.
Incredibly affordable. Kids 16 and under get in free. So if you're thinking about something easy to do with the family that's affordable, it's pretty much the ticket to go, because mom and dad only have to get in and then the kids can come in and run around and have a blast. We have a family fun zone for lots of our events, lots of things to see and do, public karting. So if the kids want to get into karting or learn more about karting, cut their teeth a little bit, they can go down there. Touring, track days, you name it, we got it. 4 miles of fitness. So if you want to walk, bike, or run, shed some few pounds after all the concessions, Monday and Wednesday nights from 6 to 8.
And you've those have been upgraded every year. Like you've done another one. Like they did the gearbox, and then you did right across the road from Parker Jones.
Absolutely.
Have you done the other ones, or are those?
Yeah, there's a few new ones as well. Antoinette's down in turn 3, great mac and cheese, roasted chicken, things like that. Also in turn 12, they have poutine, if you've never had that before, because it's Canada Corner. So one of Canada's favorite culinary delights is over there. Plus you also have Pearls on the Hill. You have Los Amigos Tacos, turn 1. So it's kind of a concessions crawl, so to speak.
Right.
So jump on your bike, jump on your golf cart, and head around the track.
And it's 12 where they have the corn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they have it until it's gone.
Wonderful roasted corn, butter, you name it.
Yeah, because that's always when we come. That's one of the first places we head off to.
Certainly a stop. Absolutely,
it's fantastic, man. That's I could go on and on. I love this place, and you know that. I mean, I've been bugging the hell out of you for years. Every year, hey, are we back? Okay,
sure.
We'll be back. John, it's great to talk to you, man. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to getting outside and checking out all the drifting going on behind us. And then you said there's now the concert is sold out tonight, right?
I don't think it's sold out. So
you don't think
people still want to come to Wisconsin Fear Fest. I believe T-Pain's going to be doing karaoke starting at like 6 to 9. It's pretty cool.
Karaoke with T-Pain tonight, so you get to do that too.
Sometimes he brings people up on stage. It's crazy.
That's fantastic. that's just it's gonna be so cool up here tonight.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. Looking forward to next week, and then we'll see you then. Okay.
All right.
There you go. Going to go ahead and take a quick break. Stay tuned. This portion of it brought to you by our friends at Pella. Go to PellaWI.com. That is PellaWI.com. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next. Ready?
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels here. Your 2 wheels revved up, because here it comes. The Big River Rally, where the river meets the road. It rolls into La Crosse on June 27th and 28th. Join us for a weekend packed with action. Stunt shows, a killer bike show, food trucks, all kinds of awesome vendors. Friday, Rod's River Run, with Texas Hippie Coalition lighting up the stage that night. Then Saturday, it's the Big River Rally Ride. Miles and miles of pure freedom. Then Saturday night, Drowning Pool rocks the house. Grab your tickets right now. BigRiverRally.com. That's BigRiverRally.com, and I'll see you there.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Swallow my pride, I would choke on the rhymes, but the lack thereof will make me up inside. I would swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing.
Welcome back to the program. Bill Michaels Show. This portion of it brought to you by our buddy Dwayne. It's Dwayne's Cover It All. D-U-A-N-E-S, Dwayne's Cover It All. As a matter of fact, when I get back home, which I'm few and far between as far as sleeping in my own bed at night, but when I get back home, I'm going to show the cover of the boat that Dwayne did for me, and then we'll show the rest of the covers and the upholstery work he did. It's unbelievable. I just saw today he is doing, I don't know what year it is, like a 1920-something car that was dropped off to him, and he did the seats and such. And man, it's amazing. So anyway, that's it's an amazing vehicle that he's done, and now he has completely reconditioned that thing. And, they're going to continue to rebuild that vehicle, but he's a part of it. So they trust him with everything. And as a matter of fact, Indy cars are going to be here next weekend. And some of the pit boxes that were made basically right here in the state of Wisconsin. And when you see the covers on them, Dwayne made those. So there's not much that guy can't do. Get a hold of our buddy Dwayne at Dwayne's Cover It All. D-U-A-N-E-S, Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com. That is Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com. And give him a shout, because he can do anything. And office furniture, I know that's a big thing right now for that he's got going on up there. Office furniture as well, and people doing reconditioning rather than going out and buying all new, saving them a lot of money along the way, and getting years more of value out of those things. So a lot of good stuff there. Call them direct, 715-870-2119, 715-870-2119, whether it's boat covers, awnings, office furniture, so much more. and upholstery work. It can make leather look like, if you got a tear in your leather, it can make it look like brand new. I mean, it's amazing. Amazing the work he does. Again, give him a call, 715-870-2119, 715-870-2119. There you go. Got an email here from Summer Shack who said, Bill, I know there's a lot of events over the summertime. They're fun. But what's one of your favorite events that you do, or a place or a location? Another way to look at it, if you had to suggest one place over the summer that you would really need to see, what would it be? Oh, my God. That's a great question. That's a great question. Because there's certain things that I put on my calendar right away. I always look for this place. What's the date of the IndyCar event? IMSA. This year in Wisconsin, we're going to the 85th anniversary of Sturgis, so we're going to be out in Sturgis, South Dakota. God, that's a great question. Because I just check them off the list. I look forward to summer. I look forward to going to the golf outings and doing things like that. The Big River Rally is a lot of fun out in La Crosse coming up in a couple of weeks. I got to tell you, there's two. If I had to narrow it down to just two, okay, and we're talking June, July, August, okay, if I had to narrow it down to two things that I absolutely positively love, okay, this would be on my list because I absolutely love coming to Road America. I just love it. It's you're camping, you're watching racing, cruising around, you're trying the different foods, seeing a lot of people. And then at night, when the campsites I'm not going to say quiet down, but when the fans that walk around and ride around on bicycles are gone and it's just the campers, we bring a fire pit with us and I even bring, wood, and we throw some wood in the fire pit, and some of the staff and management come down from Road America, and some friends or fans or whoever, whatever, just other race fans come by. And we just kind of sit around. We have some beverages. We grill out. The whole experience. Then you wake up the next day at 7 a.m. You hear the track go live, and you're just a part of all of that and the buzz leading up to it, and then the pageantry and the flyovers, and all of that is under one roof here, so to speak. And then my next favorite, I got to be honest, is State Fair. I love State Fair. So hopefully that answers your question. But boy, if now again, Sturgis is one of my favorite events. My next favorite event is coming up, if you got to include it in August this year, which I probably should. It's August 31st. It's Sunday, August 31st, with the Big Unit Poker Run, the 18th annual this year. So put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar. If you ride a motorcycle, it doesn't matter what kind, we want you to join us. We're going to raise a lot of money for Big Unit Foundation in support of Fisher House, Wisconsin, for veterans, military members, and their families. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait to do it. All right, stay tuned. Got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. 2 hours down, 2 hours yet to go. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Well, Aaron Savale's time with the Brewers is done after less than a year. About 36 hours after he requested a trade, the Brewers gave him what he wanted, traded him to the White Sox in exchange for first baseman Andrew Vaughn. Savale was unhappy that he was being moved out of the rotation and into the bullpen following the calling up of Jacob Mizorowski.
There's no ill will towards anybody in the city. It's been a great home to me and my wife for the past year. I know there's probably going to be some animosity towards this type of thing. There's a negative connotation when this type of thing comes around, but just trying to do what's best.
Vaughn is a former number 3 overall pick back in 2019 and is a .248 career batter, but he struggled this season, batting just .189 with 5 home runs and 19 RBI. The team has assigned him to AAA Nashville. Meanwhile, there does not appear to be any concern with Mizorowski moving forward after he was forced to leave his debut last night with cramping. He didn't allow a hit over 5 innings of work and had 14 pitches that topped 100 miles per hour in those 5 innings. It's going to be the Brewers and Cardinals Cardinals again tonight. First pitch at American Family Field is set for 7:10.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
Well, the Packers offseason is in the books. They closed things out yesterday with a short practice to finish their mandatory minicamp. Next time they'll be on the field is when training camp opens towards the end of next month. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil for him.
Welcome in the Bill Michaels Show. We are live. We're in Road America. Road America, one of my favorite places around. And we are here. And what we are doing is hanging out because they got a lot going on today, but getting you ready for next weekend. A week from yesterday is when all this place begins to really buzz when the IndyCar series comes to town. You got a little bit of racing going on right now. You've got Drive that is out on the track, and they are out there doing laps with these street legal race cars, basically. And they are out there doing laps right now, and they're raising money for charity, which is fantastic. You've got over 200 kids on the back doing the International Go-Kart Championships. You've got a big gathering of Corvettes and the Corvette Club out here. They're just off to my left, or excuse me, off to my right. If you're looking at it, it's off to your right on the stream as well. But they are down the hill a little bit in the North Paddock area, and they're getting together. And then behind us, and I posted the video, a very short, brief video of it over on Instagram and on Facebook. Of T-Pain is here with a concert coming up tonight, but T-Pain is here, and he has his Wisconsin, and I'm not kidding you, it's WISCANSIN State Fear, Wisconsin State Fear, and they're doing drifting behind us, much like the grid life racers do. So now you've got the Corvettes that are heading out on the track, Corvette, and some street cars that you can go out and drive. And they're doing like 50, 60 miles an hour. You just get a chance to drive your car on the racetrack. You can't go racing, but they're heading out. So the Corvettes are leading some of the regular, if you will, street cars out on the track now, again, for charity laps. So that's kind of cool that you get a chance to drive this historic racetrack and do it for charity as well. So that's kind of cool. And that's why I left the shot up of the start-finish line, the tire rack start-finish line here, as many of these cars are starting to enter the track. So anyway, that being said, all of that is going on here. Meanwhile, you've got the Brewers are making a trade. They're picking up a first baseman. They sent Savali. Aaron Savali is now a Chicago White Sox. Remember, he goes to the Siberia of baseball. There's like 3 or 4 of them, right? There's Colorado, the White Sox, which have been terrible for quite some time now. And then there's like Pittsburgh, which is terrible. Miami has been a terrible franchise for a while now. So the 4 Siberias of baseball. Even you could say Oakland was until, recent. Now Oakland at least has optimism because they have the new stadium coming in Las Vegas, and that's coming in a couple of years. But at least they have optimism. The rest of those franchises are like, yeah, we've got beautiful ballparks, and the teams that play here just suck. So, well, there you go. Savali is now a Chicago White Sox. Good stuff for him. 877-867-1670 if you want to find us. That's the way to do so. 877-867-1670. You want to find us via text line, 608-321-1670, 608-321-1670. Give us a shout there. Also, you can find us on YouTube, which I love it when you subscribe. If you would subscribe, I'm begging you, man. Please, if you get a chance and maybe you haven't already and you watch us, or maybe you thought about watching us, go to youtube.com/Bill Michaels, Michaels, Bill Michaels Show. youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. There you go. Also, you can find us on the platforms of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the Twitch app, the Kick app, the LinkedIn app as well. So all of that stuff, you can track us down there. The Bill Michaels Show, The Bill Michaels Show. And you can find us in those things. Also, after the fact, on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, our own app, which is WOZN, The Zone Madison. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, we are a television show on My 24 TV. That is My 24 TV. There you go. Rick from Spencer on the text line says one thing that's been kind of underrated is Malik Willis. He's been throwing some dimes in minicamp as well. Seen a few things on X about it. Yeah, I can't deny that. It's not one of the things that we report a lot. I shouldn't say we, because I'm not there as often or, as much as I would like to be. Obviously, I'm up there on game days, basically. But it's not something that's overwhelmingly reported because all the eyes are on Jordan Love. And this is a big year for Jordan Love. But you're right. And the neat thing about this is that Malik Willis, at least last year in his opportunities, took advantage of it and opened a lot of eyes and said, wow, this cat can play, right? Won games for the Packers. And the Packers are in better shape at a backup quarterback position than some teams are when it comes to their starting quarterback or the familiarity or uncertainty about their quarterback position. So think about it. I mean, the Packers had the Steelers not gotten Aaron Rodgers. If I'm the Steelers, I might have called the Packers for some kind of big trade to be able to try to get themselves Malik Willis in a quarterback trade. I mean, I know they had Mason Rudolph back there, but there's not a whole lot of belief in Mason Rudolph, to be perfectly honest with you. So the Packers are in pretty good shape in that case. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. I apologize. I kind of screwed up time here. We brought in John Ewert from Road America. We got to get Gary D'Amato rescheduled because hopefully he can still join us. But we're going to talk some U.S. Open as well. And the scoreboard still pretty much the same right now. Sam Burns, 3 under, 5 under through the day thus far on 17 right now, holding firm. Only one shot off the pace set by J.J. Spahn, who is just getting underway. He's on 1 as we speak. There's Thurston Lawrence, who's 3 under. Victor Hovland, who is 2 under, 3 under for the day. Siwoo Kim tees off in just a little bit. He's 2 under in the tournament. And then you go down and you start looking, and you're kind of looking for the name Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler back to even par for the day, 3 over for the tournament. The cut line is still 4 over. So he has gained a stroke, okay, as it sits right now, and he's only 6 shots off the pace at 3 under. So Scotty Scheffler right now is on 16. He had a 73 yesterday. He's sitting at even par right now, but for the day, but he's 3 over for the tournament. And you were kind of thinking that he'd make a move today. Today was kind of that moving day, right? You were thinking he would really kind of climb that leaderboard a little bit, just a couple of strokes, getting within 3 or 4 shots of the leader. And he, at least as of right now, he's still got 2 holes left to play, but he hasn't been able to make that move. So we'll see where that kind of all plays out. Or if when J.J. Spahn hits the course today, if he has the same kind, because yesterday he shot an amazing 66. Siwoo Kim shot a 68. Ben Griffin, Thomas Detry shot 69s. And the only other guy that was in that realm was Thurston Lawrence, who shot a 67. Now, Sam Burns shot a 72 yesterday, but he's 5 under for the tournament today. So he's on pace to shoot a 67, I believe, 67, 66.
He just finished with a 65.
So he's having a hell of a day right now. Sam Burns, 3 under and only a shot off the pace. So he's kind of lighting it up. But again, it's the U.S. Open. And we know how the U.S. Open is. By tomorrow, they will have those greens rolled out, and the meter's probably rolling a 13 on those things to where you putt. It's like putting on a gymnasium floor. So we'll see how that kind of rolls out by the end of the day tomorrow. But anyway, that being said. So anyway, we're waiting to find out if I can get Gary D'Amato back on maybe sometime this hour, which would be fantastic. Coming up here in the next segment, we are going to hear Matt LaFleur, who spoke. So we're going to have that for you as well. Coming up the next hour, at the bottom of the next hour, you're going to hear Mike Clemens, who joined us. So we're going to hear from Mike as well, kind of Packers wrapping up the camp and such. But that's everything that's going on. I think I covered everything. I don't think I really missed anything in the headlines. But that's kind of giving you. Oh, by the way, I did get somebody had emailed me and said, "Hey, can you believe what's going on down in Cincinnati with Shamar Stewart?" Shamar, here's the thing. Going back to the collective bargaining agreement back in 2011, every draft contract is basically the same. Okay. Because remember, it used to be rookies would hold out and you wouldn't get a rookie for, through training camp and maybe even into the season. And then finally they'd bring them in. And I'm talking top draft choices for the most part. And then they bring them in. They wouldn't really get off to a decent start. It kind of, for lack of a better term, it kind of ruined their careers. And then they went to this rookie scale. Like, look, rookies are going to make this. If you're drafted first overall, you get this. Second overall, you get this, and on down the line, right? So Cincinnati They finally start to turn the corner and look like a respectable organization. They sign Jamar Chase. They sign T. Higgins, right? Trey Hendrickson holding out. Edge rushers are getting paid. I mean, the Max Crosby said it, and then Myles Garrett said it even higher. You're talking like $30-40 million a year now for edge rushers, right? So you've got a guy like T.J. Watt holding out, Trey Hendrickson holding out, Trey Hendrickson on the other side of 30. So this is his last contract. He's looking for that last big deal. So anyway, when it comes to rookie contracts in the NFL, there's really not a whole lot of negotiation involved. The contract is essentially just written, right? So we all know that. But negotiating a rookie contract, it shouldn't be a big deal unless you figure out a way to F it up, and that's what the Bengals seem to do. They invent ways to just screw it up, for lack of a better term. And the Texas A&M pass rusher, Shamar Stewart, comes to OTAs, did not practice, nothing, because he still hasn't signed his contract. And then all of a sudden during their, 48 hours where he was watching practice, and then he left. His team called him and said, "Get out. We can't." He didn't do anything on field, and he did, however, go to the media and basically say, "Look, the Bengals aren't about winning; they're about being right." But both sides know Stewart, and I'm now going to the CBS column, would be signing a 4-year, $18.94 million rookie contract, fully guaranteed. Okay, 17th overall pick this year. And he was complaining because what the Bengals did was throw in like new language to the deal that the Bengals didn't use with their past two first-round draft choices. The team essentially wants to add a default clause, according to a former NFL team executive, Andrew Brandt, that would allow the Bengals to void future guarantees if he were to get into trouble. Say a suspension for on-field conduct or off-field conduct, and arrest for anything else that the Bengals can think of. Normally, a first-round draft choice gets a fully guaranteed 4-year deal. Here you go. But this would give the Bengals wiggle room to potentially get out of that if he were to get into trouble at any point. Okay? Stewart adamantly against the language of the contract. So some people will say, look, you're getting the contract. All you got to do is keep your nose clean. So what's the problem here? But his people are arguing like, look, nobody else is signing this deal. Why should we? Let's just say our guy is out with friends and one of his friends gets into trouble, but he gets arrested, not convicted or charged, arrested for that. Then he loses his guaranteed money? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. Remember, it's not about being convicted or charged. It's merely getting arrested. And we all know some of these cats don't hang out with the most savory of characters at times, or just things happen. So it's created just both sides have dug their heels in, and leave it to Cincinnati to screw it up. The Bengals are playing hardball with him right now. And in the past, that has usually worked out for them. But this time, Stewart does have at least one bit of leverage that the rookies in the past did not have. And that means he's got money because he's already made money through the NIL deal. So he's like, man, if I got to sit out, I'll sit out. So what? I'll sit out. And the Bengals drafted him to kind of see if he would fill the bill to take over for Trey Hendrickson, because that's kind of what the direction they went. So Cincinnati screwed this thing up. So there you have it. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You can find all of that stuff. When we come back, Matt LaFleur spoke to the media at the Packers as they wrapped up their minicamp. He spoke to them, spoke to the media, so we're going to hear that coming up here in just a little bit. Hey, if you're going to get out this weekend, be heading down to the ballpark, place to go. Let Stenny's do the driving. Stenny's runs the shuttles from both Lake Country and Walker's Point down there in the Walker's Point area, 2nd and National. Both places running shuttles to the Brewers games. If you want the award-winning Bloody Marys, the great wings, the Bill Michaels garlic cheese bread, the smash burgers, the pizzas, the wraps, whatever it happens to be, they've got it at Stenny's. Plus, they'll take you right to the front door, drop you off, let them do the driving. They'll bring you back, all that kind of good stuff. Stenny, 2nd and National in Walker's Point, Watertown Road in Pewaukee and Lake Country. Either way, as they say, you should be here.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. 6/30/2025. The Big River Rally coming to La Crosse, Wisconsin, June 27th and 28th. Don't miss the excitement on the main stage Friday night. It's Texas Hippie Coalition. And Saturday night, Drowning Pool. Tickets are on sale now. One more, follow Big River Rally on social or go to BigRiverRally.com.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to Bill Michaels Show. We are live. We're at Road America, and the summer tour is underway. It's our second week of a 4-week impasse where we are going to be everywhere. Here today, next week, next Tuesday night, going to be in Kenosha. Kenosha, Wisconsin, doing some stuff. That's after the show, some private dinners and things. But then next week, we are going to be back here at Road America. And then the following week, correct me if I'm wrong, the following week, is it the following week or the week after that? The 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th, we're going to be back in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So, yeah, next week we're back here with, Road America and the IndyCar Series. And then the following week, we are going to be in La Crosse, Wisconsin for the Big River Rally, which is getting ready to take place. After that, you got the 4th of July weekend. Then after that, vacation. The trip back to the house in Indiana. Then the week after that, we're going to get ready for the Wisconsin State Fair for a couple of days. And then, bam, off we go. We're going to be heading out for the 85th anniversary of Sturgis and the motorcycle rally in South Dakota. Then we get back. We got a couple more cigar dinners we're going to be doing. And the next thing you know, Sunday, August 31st is going to be upon us. And it is the 18th annual Big Unit Poker Run. And benefits Big Unit Foundation and support of Fisher House, Wisconsin. We can't wait for that. So we got a lot going on, man. And we got to say
you are on the move this summer.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be everywhere. And that doesn't even include all of a sudden getting into football season. Because don't forget, football season is going to begin. The Thursday night game against the Commanders, we are going to be, that's the only home game I'm going to miss this year. And the first one in a long time. But we are going to be in Tomahawk, Wisconsin for the fall ride, and we'll be at Castaways Bar and Grill for the postgame show, for the Green and Gold postgame show. We're back at Burkle's this year for the postgame show, so we're looking forward to that. We've and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Christmas. We're going to be everywhere. So at some point, I want to get the boat out, and I'd like to get my motorcycle out a couple of times, but damn. We got a lot going on. And we can't do it without our great friends at Marquardt RV. I drove past the Marquardt Toyota dealership and the Marquardt, all of that up there in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on my way back from Rice Lake yesterday. But nevertheless, man, so much good stuff is happening, all because we have teamed up with a great company that believes in you first, customer service, and that is Marquardt RV. And whether you get a Thor motorhome, like we have, which is the motor coach is fantastic. It's beautiful. Or a Tiffin, or you get something where you're going to start out, you're going to trade up, you're going to trade down, your first time, Jayco, Alliance, Glacier, whatever. They've got something for everybody. But the bottom line is this. There's a lot of them out there. There's some of the big ones, too. Some of the big chains, national chains, local chains, whatever. But they really, first of all, they believed in the customer service, and a lot of the ones that they own may not even say Marquardt on it. It may be a name that you know in your community, but it's part of the Marquardt family because they have such an entrenched, community-minded staff that they want to help you and they want to work with you and they want to do everything they can to give you customer service first. That is Marquardt RV. Go to marquardtrv.com, MarQuart RV.com, anywhere in the state of Wisconsin. They have 8 locations. They've got the new one in Columbus as well, 8 locations statewide. Again, marquardtrv.com. That is marquardtrv.com. Matt LaFleur talking to the media for the last time until training camp. Here's what he had to say.
You got 40 minutes quicker, so that was good, right, for you? On your vacation.
Yeah, there's a lot of work left before we start vacation.
Matt, just how do you feel about what you accomplished overall through this summer?
I mean, everybody feels good this time of the year. The thing that's most positive, I would say, for the most part, we had pretty good attendance. We had the majority of our guys here for the duration. And I think that, it's been fun to kind of watch how these guys grow, especially guys maybe going in their second year. They're so much further along than they were a year ago. And that's some of the conversations that we have. And then getting the new guys in, getting them acclimated to how we do things and the standards that we have here. And so, but you got to continue to work. Just because we're done now, it goes on to the next phase. And now we have like 40 days roughly before the start of training camp. And, you can't take your foot off the gas for 1 second in this league, because if you do, people are going to bypass you. So we got to keep pushing. These guys are going to, they shoulder most of that responsibility in regards to how they go about training and taking care of their bodies and doing the things that they need to do to be ready to go when we get back here for the start of camp.
Is that exactly or almost exactly the message you gave them in the huddle today? What you
It was much shorter. I feel like we've been kind of talking about this stuff for a while now. But I mean, bottom line is you got to work. I don't know anything easy that's worthwhile in life that comes easy without putting in the work. And so, but those guys got to take it to heart. I mean, ultimately, it's up to each individual to put in that work to come back and be in a better place. And then collectively, hopefully that adds up.
Today's session, so that's like my focus, that's practice, right? And did you present him something?
Yeah, so the guy signed a helmet for him, and certainly, obviously, and like, I think I can speak for everybody within our football space, just how appreciative we are of Mark and the kind of leader that he is. And I think as great of a leader as he is, he's an even better man. And just, appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of this great organization, and certainly has changed my life, my family's life. But I also I love the way he leads. I mean, he's going to let you do your job, and but he's also there, and he's very supportive all along the way through the good times and the not so good times. So, he's very special to, I think, all of us here.
Man, even though you talked about the limitations throughout this, main camp and OTH, you did, challenge to still be sharp, executing wise and technique. When those 2 minutes and some of the red zone stuff you worked on, was it at least at that level that you wanted to see?
Yeah, again, it's not real football right now. There's no pads on, so it's just more or less these guys got to be ready to roll when we come back. Was it July 22nd? And then we'll have some of the guys that are going to be coming back a few days early. We'll have the quarterbacks, the rookies, and some of our injured players. It's a pretty long list, so we'll have about half the team back here a little bit early.
What's the biggest goal for yourself this offseason, these 5 weeks?
My biggest goal? I think it's always to kind of, you do want to get away a little bit and recharge the battery, because we know what's in front of us. And so I think it's a great opportunity. The one thing I love about just especially being in the NFL is not that you don't unplug from everything, but it does give you a chance, an opportunity to really connect with your family. And I think that's important for all of us. But you still want to stay connected, even though you might not be seeing everybody on a daily basis. And that's one of the priorities, is to make sure you stay connected with everybody.
Injuries. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but Quay looked in practice. We didn't see him, and also Rashid Banks and Jaden didn't practice again. Any concern for first day training camp?
I would say hopefully not.
Quay scootered past us yesterday since he has to make the trip from upstairs to wherever he's going. Did something happen to him during the off-season program?
I wouldn't say it was during the off-season program. I think there was some just residual effects from the season.
What are your expectations for him? I mean, he suffers that ankle injury, maybe that's what it is, in Seattle, but it seemed like he had really turned the corner in those games.
Yeah, I think we collectively have high expectations for him. He's a guy that I think just going into year 2 of this system, he's mentally much further along and having just a foundation of playing in this league now for a few years. And he's played some really good football. So I think the challenge is not only for him, but every player is how consistently can you go out there and play your best football? And so I expect him to be ready to go and play his best ball this season.
I know every player is different, but like Hawkinson in Minnesota towards ACL, it's a different injury than everything else. But then he wasn't ready until November for those guys last year. I'm not a doctor, and you said neither are you, but watching Christian in these days that we've been able to see him, it's pretty darn impressive. Are you allowing yourself to get your hopes up that you might have to?
Probably not, yeah, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like the guys that are available, that's who you coach, and that's kind of where you focus. Not to say like it is exciting to see how far along he is, and he's been doing a great job. He attacks it the right way. I think our trainers have done an outstanding job with him, and I think he's in the best spot possible considering the circumstance. So. He will give us a boost whenever that is. Whenever he comes back, I expect him to give us a boost.
I asked Jordan Love the other day, specifically, with this third year, what can you do in terms of really picking up a mental connection with maybe Dobbs and Wicks, because you didn't have at the start of the season? You discussed that with him?
Yeah, I think just it's like anything. The more time on task you have, the stronger you can build that rapport with those guys. And just in terms of all the little body movements that each guy individually has, reading their body language, I think it allows the quarterback to anticipate a little bit better in certain situations. Yeah, I think those guys have done a great job. They always communicate. They do a great job with that. I think Jordan's been more vocal than and we need him to be, quite honestly. And he's got to take that upon himself. And I just don't know many quarterbacks in this league that aren't the voice of not only the offense but their team that are, all the great ones do it.
Your day 3 rookies, considerable time during this. I'm not asking about their physical, being ready physically, but just being ready to go as far as mentally ready to jump in.
You're saying a lot of the day 3 guys?
Yes.
Yeah, like Colin and Williams and.
Right. And Micah Robinson.
Oh yeah, Micah.
So
yeah.
I'm not asking how they're going to be physically ready.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I think they're attacking it the right way, but where they're going to be, I couldn't tell you. I mean, it's just kind of a wait and see type deal. But I would anticipate those guys being ready to go, at least if it's not initially at the start of training camp, sometime throughout training camp.
Physical practice, will they be ready mentally?
Well, I mean, I don't think. I mean, I couldn't tell you that until we see it. I mean, I don't think anybody can. But you got to. It's hard. It's one thing to be out there and being able to regurgitate sitting down in a nice, cozy environment. It's another thing to go out there when things are happening extremely fast. And I think the only way you find out with any of these guys is you got to put them out there.
There you go. That's Matt LaFleur talking to the media. And he's right. I mean, it's funny because Mike Clemens had said, I was listening to Mike yesterday, and he said, Goody comes over and says, I can't believe you guys are here watching this, kind of semi-jokingly. but it's tough to judge things and give in-depth analysis when guys aren't in pads and at full go, when they're just kind of, running around and trying to learn their assignments and be in the right place at the right time. That's what you're looking for right now. And so anyway, long story short, I mean, I know we love football. We all want to talk football. We all want optimism. We all want to look at the Green Bay Packers in every practice as if it means something that's going to be another step towards the Super Bowl, because that's what we want. But it's like you can only evaluate so much in what they're doing now. So now we have 5.5, 6 weeks off. I think it's July 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, that the team gets back on the field. And this time we're only 40 days away from training camp. So there it is. All right, let's do this. We'll step out. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got a lot more to get to. We are broadcasting live here at Road America and in beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Just love this place. Absolutely love it. You're looking for something to do tonight if you're out there in the La Crosse area. Maybe get yourself a good Cajun fish fry, if you will. Oh, yeah. There you go. That would be our friends over there at Buzzer Billy's and the Starlight Lounge. Great stuff. Buzzer Billy, Starlight Lounge. The food downstairs, the craft cocktails and mixers upstairs. Great stuff. And if you're watching, by the way, on the live stream, and I'll have to shift it over for you real quick. But if you look at all the smoke. If you're seeing this, look at all the smoke. No, that's not fog that's moved into the area. They are now over at the T-Pain's group they brought burnout cars. They're doing actual pro burnout cars right now. And that's the smell of burnt rubber is permeating this place. But that is from the behind me, which is about 100 yards behind me, they're doing burnouts. And they're doing so many burnouts in such big tires that the entire paddock area across the track for me is now completely covered in smoke. So it's not like wildfires or anything like that. That's burnout that's going on right now. All right, let's do this. Stay tuned. We got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Hard to find in the streets of stone. Modern warriors, satellite horses of chrome.
Welcome back.
Taste the wild.
The Bill Michaels Show. We are live. We're in Road America. A lot going on here. Welcome back to the program. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at the Water Doctors. Water Doctors, the best water softening system out there, the Kinetico water softening system. Absolutely, positively fantastic. And whether it's for just feeling clean coming out of the shower, your laundry, or think about your drinking water for yourself if you're a big water drinker like I am, or maybe your kids. How about your pets? Think about them as well. The best water softening system out there, and getting rid of bacteria, getting rid of everything in your water, all the impurities, so you have fresh, clean drinking water. I mean, really pure, clean drinking water. And I've had others in my home, but this is by far the best. Get a hold of the Water Doctors anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, 262-549-7733, 262-549-7733. That is the Water Doctors, 262-549-7733. We are live here in Road America, and they got a lot going on. As I had mentioned a little bit earlier, they've got the kids and the go-karts racing on the back portion down in the Motoplex. They've got Drive going on right now, which you can bring your street legal race car out here and do some laps, some hot laps, and they're raising money for charity. You've got the convention, if you will, of Corvette clubs that are just south of here, or actually just to my right, which is actually technically, I believe, north of here. And then you've got T-Pain right now and his group. And if you watch it over on their channel, which is, God, I can't remember what it is because it was sitting here in front of me before, but it's Nappy Automotive, Nappy Automotive. It's Wiscan, Wiscansin, Wisconsin State Fear. And they've got grid life kind of stuff going on, drifting going on out there right now. So that's happening behind us. All of that going on here at Road America. Dennis, and look, Dennis on the live stream, I'm going to preface this. Dennis hates Matt LaFleur. Hates him. So he writes, LaFleur is the king of coach speak. Keep foot on the gas, ? No one's ever said that about his coaching style. He's never done it. His players must improve. Always their fault. I keep waiting for him to say or do anything that shows he's passionate and 100% driven and committed to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. So far, nothing. Okay. first of all, when you say he's never done it, well, he's been to a couple of NFC championship games. When you say his players must improve, that's true. Always their fault? I don't think it's always their fault, and I don't think he's always blamed them. I think he's taken some heat. At times, I agree with you. Look, I'm not going to completely dismiss the statement, but when you say you keep waiting for him to say or do anything that shows he's passionate, well, wait a minute. When he gets excited, when he gets, angry or emotional on the sideline and goes after officials and shows emotion, people criticize him for it. When he doesn't, people say he doesn't have emotion or passion. You can't have it both ways. At times, the emotional side of things where he's actually cried or got choked up, people criticize him for that. So there's emotion there. And he has, if you listen to Mike Clemens, Mike has said that, there have been times where he gets in guys' asses at practice and angry. He doesn't have to show it on the sideline. He does it behind closed doors. So I get where you're coming from. But to say he doesn't do anything and to get your blanket, because you hate the guy. So, and you got other people going, you're 100% correct. No, you're not. No, you're right. As far as doing whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl, now tell me what. Like what? Give me examples. Don't just say it. Because you say so far nothing. Well, that's an absolute steaming pantload of a statement. So far he's done nothing? That's not true. I mean, I can point to numerous games with or without Aaron Rodgers. Go back to the game in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day with Jordan Love. That was an impressive performance. At that point in time, moving forward, and the game plan he had down in Dallas. What he did there, fantastic. Great coach, great play calling. All of that came together. To take a team that looked so bad in Mike McCarthy's last year, to turn that team around, get 13 wins, and take them to an NFC championship game, that was impressive. You can't say he's done nothing. But your level of hate for Matt LaFleur is so high, it puts blinders on you. You cannot wait to jump on him. Cannot wait. So if he gets excited about something in OTAs, well, he's stupid because, they're not even in pads. But if he sounds coach speak, tell me who doesn't. Tell me who doesn't. I listened to Mike McDaniel's presser the other day. You talk about wanting to run out into your front yard and slam an appendage in a car door. Oh, my God. It's terrible. And that's a guy about to get fired, by the way. But, when you can have a guy like Belichick who's a hard ass and driving guys, and then guys hate it. Then you look at a guy like, say, Brian Flores. Brian Flores goes down, takes over in Miami. He was a hard driving guy. We're going to be accountable. And the players hated it. Then McDaniel comes in. Things are good for a year. They look like they're on the verge of doing something. Tua really hasn't grown the way they wanted him to. They haven't been able to win in any temperature that's like below 45 or 35 degrees or whatever it is. And they're terrible. Sean Payton came in, looked like a hard ass, right? We're going to do things this way. First year sucked. Everybody wanted to get rid of him. Thought he was an idiot. Now he's a hero. People hate Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. He's only taken them to a Super Bowl. They hate that guy. They won it in spite of. I mean, some coaches, look, it's not great, but every word can't be exactly the way you want it. Otherwise, the guy sucks. Let's live in reality. There are times that I have disagreed about certain things that Matt LaFleur has done. Absolutely. But do I think he's a bad coach? No. No, I don't. You can't blanketly say they've never done anything, because that's not true. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up, which is a great commentary to discuss, because when people start agreeing, it's kind of like, wait a minute, what are you looking at? Like I said, is there room to criticize? Everybody. Yeah, you can criticize things. I don't have a problem with it. I've done it. But I hate the blanket statements because I know what your feelings are about LaFleur. There's certain people that just hate him. Hate the
I think
guy.
criticizing any coach at the podium is just super nitpicky, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
Like
unless it's some kind of topic that you vehemently disagree with.
Yeah, like if he's saying something that like about the team or per se that you don't agree with, yes. But if you're nitpicking at him for talking like the coach's way or like not giving you answers that you want to hear, like that's every coach does that. Every coach talks around questions.
Absolutely. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to give us a shout, please feel free to go ahead and do so. Our friends at Levine Ice Burner. I hope you don't need an attorney, but if you ever do, how about an attorney that actually answers the phone and actually sees the inside of a courtroom? Not just a figurehead, but goes to court for you, has the relationship with you, answers the phone when you call, right? Calls you back. How about that? Personal injury, estate planning for like a living will or a trust. How about when you get civil litigation? If you need a business contract dispute settled or something to that effect, call my guys. Brent Iceburner over there. Brent Iceburner, Levine Iceburner, 608-621-2888. 608-621-2888. Call and ask for Brett. You'll get him. And if you don't get him today, he'll be the one that calls you back. For sure. 608-621-2888. Levine Iceburner Attorneys. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Tell you what, looking forward to tonight. I'll tell you that. Leaving Road America here this evening. Heading back to Milwaukee. I'll be in my own bed tonight. Looking forward to that. But I'll have a full belly after going down to Calderon Club, 838 Old World 3rd Street. Be down there later on tonight. Looking forward to it. And getting a little bit of the Bill Michaels, some of that chicken marsala, the spicy penne sashina. Getting some of the eggplant for an appetizer. Oh, yeah. Kristen's got a business dinner down there tonight, so I get to tag along. I get to be nobody. Just sit in the corner, grub down, watch some Brewers baseball. Can't wait. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Calderon Club, 838 Old World 3rd Street. Some of the best Italian food you're going to put in your grill. And then San Giorgio Pizzeria in the Napoletana right next door. So you get two authentic Italian restaurants with two very different styles of food, which is awesome. Awesome. So if you're going to be in downtown Milwaukee, maybe before or after the Brewers game or just down there on a date night, whatever it happens to be, check out our friends over there at Calderon Club. Both places fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Coming up in the next hour, I'll get back at the Dennis sparked some discussion regarding Matt LaFleur. So I want to get into that. Brewers making a trade. Savali gone. They picked up Vaughn, who is now coming in. They're trying to kind of reclaim his, kind of the reclamation project that is, trying to reclaim his offense and get him back on track. And he can become some depth on the first base side of the infield. And that to discuss. By the way, I did want to get into the penalties handed out, the self-imposed penalties more so than anything from Luke Fickell's staff. Because some people are jumping all over this, and it's like, stop. And I'll tell you why when we come back, because it's really, to me, it's kind of no big deal. It's really no big deal. So I want to get into that. And I'm not poo-pooing it because it's the Badgers, but just because it's really no big deal in today's day and age. So don't worry about it. We'll talk about that as well. Mike Clemens coming up in about a half an hour. Man, we got all kinds of stuff going on. We are live. We are at Road America, as you can see, watching on the live stream. How we looking? More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Zone Update.
Well, Aaron Savale's time with the Brewers is done after less than a year. About 36 hours after he requested a trade, the Brewers gave him what he wanted, traded him to the White Sox in exchange for first baseman Andrew Vaughn. Savale was unhappy that he was being moved out of the rotation and into the bullpen following the calling up of Jacob Mizorowski.
There's no ill will towards anybody in the city. It's been great home to me and my wife for the past year. I know there's probably going to be some animosity towards this type of thing. There's a negative connotation when this type of thing comes around, but just trying to do what's best.
Vaughn is a former number 3 overall pick back in 2019 and is a .248 career batter, but he struggled this season, batting just .189 with 5 home runs and 19 RBI. The team has assigned him to AAA Nashville. Meanwhile, there does not appear to be any concern with Mizorowski moving forward after he was forced to leave his debut last night with cramping. He didn't allow a hit over 5 innings of work and had 14 pitches that topped 100 miles per hour in those 5 innings. It's going to be the Brewers and Cardinals again tonight. First pitch at American Family Field is set for 7:10.
ABC of Wisconsin is the largest apprenticeship program in the state, with more than 2,000 active apprentices in 12 different skilled trades. In the ABC apprenticeship program, you earn while you learn on the job, get paid to go to class, and graduate with a job in your craft, but without the huge college debt. Explore 12 different construction trades in one spot at buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
Well, the Packers offseason is in the books. They closed things out yesterday with a short practice to finish their mandatory minicamp. Next time they'll be on the field is when training camp opens towards the end of next month. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil.
Welcome, Bill Michaels Show. Man, 3 hours have flown by. We are live. We're at Road America. If you're watching the program, start-finish line right there. They're getting ready to fire some of the vehicles back up for the drive. The drive is taking place today. It's basically you can come out here with your street-legal race car and run it out on the track. And they're raising money for charity, which is fantastic. You've got the go-kart Motoplex up and running, and the kids are down there running go-karts for a champion. There's over 200 kids down there running for a championship there. You've got the Corvette Club, which is hosting a gathering in the North Paddock area, which has been newly paved, and new garages are being built, and that's fantastic. And then out behind us, if you follow me over on the social media platforms, I'm about to post on TikTok as well, T-Pain is in the house. And which is fantastic. I mean, I'm watching a lot of this on some of the closed caption screens here, or the closed circuit TV here in the press box. And the media parking lot is now a drifting race course, which is awesome. And I'm going to get a chance to do that after I get off the air today. Didn't plan on doing that today, but I'm going to get a chance to do that today. So I'm excited about that, but going to be doing a little drifting. So all of that happening out here at Road America in anticipation of next Thursday, when suddenly the track starts to come to life again. And here comes the IndyCar series. And there's still tickets available. There's still some camping available. There is RV camping available, just not RV sites with electric and water. So just so you know, you can still come out. You got your generators and stuff. You're good to go. Come out and camp and hang out, because this has got acreage and acreage and acreage out here for you to enjoy yourself on. There's different restaurants. There's different venues. There's music. There's all kinds of places, things that are new out here. But we will see you out here coming up next weekend as well. But Wisconsin State Fear going on behind me with T-Pain and the Nappy Boy Automotive, which is fantastic. It's fun to watch, too. So I wish they had this on TV, because I'd sit and be mesmerized by this stuff. And I posted some video on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm about to post it on TikTok as well. So if you follow me on the platforms, you'll see it. What's going on out? I ran out on the front porch of the media center and got some video real quick. But I will get video hopefully inside the car doing the drifting coming up here after the show, so you can pay attention to that as well. So there you go. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Now, a couple of things. First and foremost, the Brewers made the trade today. Savali gone, off to the White Sox. They pick up Vaughn, first baseman, not having a great season. Offensively, maybe they reclaim him. He actually comes from the Siberia of baseball to a team that's actually trying to contend. So maybe just intensity-wise, concentration-wise, effort-wise, everything ramps up, and all of a sudden, maybe he gives you more than a 189 batting average and 4 home runs. So maybe that happens. So we'll wait and see. But at least he provides some backup over at first base. So that's going on. You got the Brewers back at it tonight. Freddie Peralta goes to the hill against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Brewers now in second place after beating the Cardinals yesterday. Last night, which Mizorowski pitched a gem until he kind of rolled the ankle, and they ended up yanking him. But and the ankle's going to be fine. No big problems there. But they did it as a precautionary measure, and I don't blame them, to be perfectly honest with you. So what an outing Miz had last night. Everybody's on the Miz train. The Miz train's rolling. Everybody's excited about it. So good stuff there. And then the question about the Wisconsin Badgers. Now, the report that came out of the Wisconsin State Journal basically said that, look, there was a down period of time in which coaches could not call recruits. Okay. And last year they were in the midst of changing this. So the coaches made the call. They were making calls to recruits. And then they realized they had not changed that rule yet. So they self-imposed and said, hey, self-reported the penalties and say, hey, we made the calls. The rule had not been changed. We want to let you know about it. So it's basically a not even, people say it's a slap on the wrist. It's not even a slap on the wrist. It's a $25,000 fine. And Luke Fickell cannot pick up the phone for like 5 days. It's a minimal fine and problem, because since then they've changed the rule. You're now allowed to call. So it's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. For those that are the naysayers of Luke Fickell, this is not the aha gotcha moment. There's not. It's almost like there's nothing to see here. Just there's nothing to see. It's some coaches made a phone call. They self-reported it. It is what it is. It's not going to have really an impact on the program. It's not like they are banned from postseason play or they've lost scholarships and whatever. None of that. The penalties imposed by the NCAA, negotiated in a settlement with the Badgers. And again, they call it a little more than a slap on the wrist. I call it like a wink and a nod. Don't do it again. Okay. By the way, we don't have a problem doing it again because now it's legal to do. So it's minimal. It's nothing. It's nothing. So I'm not worried about it. I think when it comes to the Badgers and that topic, I think I've covered it. You know, Luke Fickell, like I said, he's not allowed from June 15th through the 21st. So starting on Sunday, he can't call recruits. But he's still allowed to be a part of all the official visits and go meet with recruits coming in. He just can't call them. That's it. Other than that, no big deal. He's still a part of the official visits. Staff members are going to be able to fill in any of the gaps in the recruiting in those days. No big deal. They just basically said they're deeply committed to maintaining the highest level of integrity and holding ourselves accountable. Okay. And by the way, it happened a couple of years ago under a rule that was active then, but has changed and no longer exists because they realized how ridiculous the rule was. So that's it. No worries there. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So anyway, that being said, that's what's going on there. Now, getting back to the Matt LaFleur stuff, and Dennis, who so eloquently put out there that obviously he's not a Matt LaFleur fan. He said, quote, LaFleur is the king of coach speak. Keep foot on the gas, exclamation point, question mark. No one's ever said that about his coaching style. He's never done it. His players must improve. Always their fault. I keep waiting for him to say or do anything that shows he's passionate and 100% driven and committed to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. So far, nothing, which I take a lot of umbrage with. Because, first of all, I preface this by saying Dennis and I have gone back and forth in emails, and we've talked about it on the air. Dennis is not in any way, shape, or form a Matt LaFleur fan. He cannot stand Matt LaFleur and wants him out. But to say, again, to go back to this, to say he's done nothing, well, he's only been to 2 NFC championship games. He took a terrible team when Mike McCarthy got fired to a 13-3 record and an NFC championship game, of which they just were outclassed because they just didn't have the horses defensively to get the job done, to be perfectly honest with you. Are there times where you can question decision-making? Yes. Absolutely. That's what we do. I don't question his passion to win. We've seen him get passionate. As a matter of fact, when he does get passionate and animated, people make fun of him for it or rip him because of it. So he's losing it. He's lost control of the team. They see this. And at times, he's too emotional. You can criticize that. Or emotional and almost crying in an interview. Okay, you want to see your coach be Dan Campbell and like, you know, I'm not going to cry, I'm going to kick your ass. But Dan Campbell cried the other day. Nobody accused him of not being machismo. I get it. At times, there's a time and a place for certain things. But to say, and I quote, he doesn't do anything that shows he's passionate and 100% driven and committed to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. So far, nothing. Like what? What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? By the way, I know that there's other things that are being said. Tyler just brought it up. Jair Alexander, his dad's going off on Twitter saying that his son was willing to take a pay cut to stay with the Packers, but he said Green Bay lowballed him. Right. They lowballed him. They're not going to pay for a guy that's broken. Here's the thing. Let me say this in regards to that. Did his dad give specifics? No. My son was willing to take a pay cut. From what? 17 million base to what? 15 million base? 8 million base? 6 million base? 3 million base? He's not going to give you that. He throws it out there and says, yeah, my son was willing to take a pay cut, but they lowballed him. Damn straight. Damn straight. I would too. From the total of this year, what he was expected to be a total cap hit had he stayed was upwards of $24 million. No way in hell you're paying him that. Base salary of 17 something. So if I'm the Packers, I would have said, I'll take you from 24 down to, 10 to 12, base salary of say 8, with the ability for you in the games you play to make back your money. Is that lowballing him or is that reasonable? His dad's saying, well, they lowballed him. Goodikins basically said, hey, we made you an offer. This is it. And Jair didn't want it. So now we'll see what he makes on the open market. And oh, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. Austin, have I missed anything? But Jair has not signed with anybody as of yet, correct?
No, he's not.
It's not like there were 5 teams lined up going, we're going to pay you $24 million. We're going to pay you 17 million base. He hasn't signed for that money. Nobody snapped him up.
I imagine he'll eventually sign some sort of incentive-based contract. Yes. That seems the most likely option.
Yeah. And then I want to see his dad come out and say he made more on the open market than the Packers were willing to pay him. And he might, if you find 2 teams that are going to bid against each other. Otherwise, I think he's going to sign a minimal deal and basically a prove-it year to say I can stay healthy. Because otherwise, you'd figure he would have been snapped up by now because he's been out of work since Monday. Teams are in their mandatory minicamps right now or just wrapping them up. So, I mean, now that he's going to have a chance to travel a little bit and go from franchise to franchise to franchise. I mean, I know it was rumored about Minnesota, the Commanders. There was 2 other teams, I think, that were involved or at least rumored to be interested in Jair. But we all knew it came to a head on Sunday night. It was made official on Monday morning. Today's Friday. I don't think there's a headline out there that says Jair is signed with anybody, and I don't think there's a headline out there that says, hey, such and such a team is bringing in Jair at this particular moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was the sighting of him at a Minneapolis airport, so we just assumed he was meeting with the Vikings, but nothing there as of yet. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, Tyler said he also said that his son wasn't willing to play for free. Well, I mean, look, I know you earn your money as a rookie because as a rookie, you don't get paid a ton of money. I get that. But for the last 2 years, he's gotten paid not to play. It's funny because I don't see anybody saying, boy, I've been hurt for 2 years. I didn't hardly play a lick. I didn't really contribute to this team. I should give some of that money back. Of course not. Nobody was complaining that. I'm not saying they're wrong because they got hurt in the line of duty, so to speak. I'm not overwhelmingly criticizing them, but I'm not going to sit here and cry a river because you got lowballed because you haven't been able to stay on the field. It's again, ability versus availability. Are you available? Go back to the old days when they say you can't make the club from the tub. Can't sit in the whirlpool the whole time trying to get the muscle aches out. You got to get on the field. And that was his problem. So, and if his dad's now going off, okay, And I get it. Every parent wants to defend their kids. So part of me says this is a parent defending his kid. The other part of me is saying, is his dad getting mad at everybody and getting crazy? And then did that apple fall far from the tree? Don't know. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up, feel free to go ahead and do so. 877-867-1670. The whole thing about Matt LaFleur I want to talk about when we come back. And Corey was in Marshall, and if Corey wants to call back in, he can. But the whole thing about Matt LaFleur, we can get into that discussion. But again, I'll defend. I like it. In my sense, I like to keep it real. Look at it in a reality. There's an emotional side of things, but I like to look at it in a reality, a very open and honest reality. Have there been things you can criticize? Absolutely. But I'm not going that far. I'm not demanding. I've said at times, if the locker room goes one way, you don't have a choice. You gotta move on. But he did a great job a couple of years ago wrapping his arms around the organization and keeping it all together. Give credit where credit's due. This is a big year, though. This is a big year for Jordan Love. This is a big year for Matt LaFleur. This is a big year for a lot of things. Always is. Always is. By the way, yes, I did see it. Law enforcement down in Miami seeking to arrest wide receiver Antonio Brown. Attempted murder. According to the warrant that's been reviewed by the Washington Post, it stems from a shooting that he was involved in during a celebrity boxing event in Miami last month. The warrant shows a charge of attempted murder with a firearm. It also instructs Brown to post a $10,000 bond and remain on house arrest until the trial. But they are seeking to arrest him now, trying to get a hold of him. Antonio Brown. Well, you talk about a guy that had a lot of promise and just threw away his career, and now apparently, and it depends on what happens with this, throws away his life. I mean, and they always claimed there was never anything wrong. I'm not mentally unstable. He was the guy throwing furniture off the balcony, remember, at people down below, almost hitting people with furniture off of a balcony. Was it a few stories up? So just a bad scene, so to speak. Let's do this. We'll take a quick break. We'll get back. Corey's back from Marshall. We'll get to Corey when we come back. Don't go anywhere. More of the Bill Michaels Show. We're broadcasting live here at Road America. Beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Love this place. Love it. Stay tuned. We got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up this portion of the program. Brought to you by our good friends out there at Smoke on the Water. Smoke on the Water in Okauchee. In case you don't know, if you're going to head out there this weekend, go check out the new bar. They had a deck. The deck was nice. They had this beautiful deck. And they had seating outside and all these couches and fire pits and stuff. It was kind of cool. But it wasn't a great utilization of the space. They built an outdoor bar and restaurant area out there. Fantastic. Go check it out. Smoke on the Water on Okauchee Lake and Wisconsin Avenue. In Hubertus and on Hubertus is Sloppy Joe's Saloon and Spoon, their other venture, which is a traditional, great, if you're out for a fish Friday night, great Wisconsin bar to go to. Feels like the old fashioned sitting right there in the bar. Both places, Joe and Ellen Hennis, great owners. Smoke on the Water in Okauchee, Sloppy Joe's Saloon and Spoon in Hubertus. More of the Bill Michaels Show is next. Ready?
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels here. Your two wheels revved up because here it comes. The Big River Rally where the river meets the road. It rolls into La Crosse on June 27th and 28th. Join us for a weekend packed with action. Stunt shows, a killer bike show, food trucks, all kinds of awesome vendors. Friday, Rod's River Run with Texas Hippie Coalition lighting up the stage that night. Then Saturday, it's the Big River Rally Ride. Miles and miles of pure freedom. Then Saturday night, Drowning Pool rocks the house. Grab your tickets right now. BigRiverRally.com. That's BigRiverRally.com, and I'll see you there.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. The Bill Michaels Show. This segment of it brought to you by our friends in Wimmy. I call them Wimmy. W-I-M-I. WimmyWishRide.org. WIMI-Wishride.org. And it is coming up August 9th and 10th of this year. It's tremendous. It's a bicycle ride. Bicycle, not motorcycle. Bicycle ride from Marinette, Wisconsin to Kingsford, Michigan and back. And it raises money to benefit two Make-A-Wish foundations, Make-A-Wish Wisconsin and Make-A-Wish Michigan. And if you are a bicyclist, it's a couple hundred miles. It is a tremendous ride through a lot of great scenery. It's the first annual bike ride benefiting Make-A-Wish Wisconsin and Make-A-Wish Michigan. And the proceeds from this event are going to help grant life-changing wishes for kids that have those critical illnesses. So if you can do this August 9th, you go from Marinette, Wisconsin to Kingsford. And then you turn around the next day and you ride from Kingsford, Michigan, back to Marinette, Wisconsin. It's a 200-mile round trip. And if you can do it and you want to sign up, then this is fantastic. And by the way, they're taking a maximum of 200 bikers. So get in now. You can sign up and register online right now. It closes. The online registration closes August 1st. And a 200 rider limit is reached, whichever comes first. So get in now. So as a part of the registration, you get the team cycling jersey. All the riders pay the $100 for registration, and they hope to raise at least $550 in then donations on top of that. And they're just it's a great event. It's a great scenery area up there if you've never been. And not to mention, if you're a bicycle enthusiast, this is for you, man. Go to WIMI as in Michael or Michigan, WIMI-Wishride.org. That's WIMI-Wishride.org. There you go. All right, let's do this. Let's go to Corey. Corey in Marshall is now on hold. Corey, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
Billy, how are we looking?
I'm looking great today. I'm sitting at the start-finish line of Road America, so it doesn't get much better than this.
Make sure you tell Frank I say hello from when you go to the Cold Room Club tonight.
I absolutely will.
One of the bartenders. Nice guy, funny guy. The only time I've been there, the biggest help that I had my better half on my arm. That's made sure that the service was extra awesome. So
perfect.
We'll be seeing them when we head down there for the Ewert Church concert down in September. But to your discussion here about LaFleur, I tend to agree with you on this one, Bill. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think Packers fans have actually been pretty spoiled. And, I've been a Packers fan my whole life. Bad coaches are Lindy Infante. Bad coaches are Forrest Gregg. The famous Charles Martin suplexing Jim McMahon. We all laugh about it, but that's a bad coach.
Right.
To have that type of bleep happening in your team. All right. LaFleur's a good coach. I've had problems at times with some of his game management stuff, like clock management things here and there. But that doesn't mean he's some humbum off the road that doesn't know what he's doing.
Correct.
The fact that he got Malik Willis to win basically 3 games for them last year with an offense that he had to limit to just him. Turns out Malik Willis is pretty good on the one hand, but changing around an offense in a week or two. I had a problem with LaFleur kind of giving a smartest answer saying oh, you guys don't know how difficult it is. Set that aside. That's pretty tough to do. So bad coaches aren't able to do that. If you wanted a coach that's all fire and brimstone, go cheer for the Lions.
Right.
Go cheer for Dan Campbell. We talk about how good a coach he is, but as I do, Bill, he lost them 2 playoff games by having to be the tough guy.
Yep.
When they played in San Fran.
Yep.
Remember that? When it was 4th down, they could have went back up by a touchdown. Oh, no. I got to show I got bigger, than the other guy does. And then they never get the ball back. They lose. Last year, when they had Jamison Williams dumber than a box of hammers, throwing the ball on the field,
right,
trying to play quarterback, Washington picks them off. They don't get the ball back.
Right.
So if we want fire and brimstone, you cheer for that guy. I like Mike Tomlin for a disposition type coach where he's very clear and direct, and I think that's what people tend to like. And I think they think that LaFleur is not being as direct with them as they can, but that doesn't mean he's a bad coach from my perspective, at least. And some of these guys, to the Jair thing, some of these guys got to get their dads off of social media. Him,
right?
Christian Watson. If you're another coach or GM, Bill, you look at this dude's dad pissing and moaning on social media. Do you want to go out and sign him right away?
No.
Problem. It's just like that Vince Glenn said. Great interview, by the way. I love that guy.
Thank
Even though
you.
he's a Vikings guy. When he said, he's like, look, man, if you're in this for yourself at all, you're a prima donna, get the bleep out of here.
Right.
I don't want you around.
Yeah.
We ain't going to, you got to be all in on what we're doing here. And, guys see that when you come walking in, and he's just going to, and I like Jair. I didn't have a problem with him, whatever. I liked kind of he was a goonball, but like you said, can't make the club from the tub, and that's just the way it goes sometimes, man. But I'll let you get going. Have a good weekend. You the man, and enjoy the Call Room Club tonight.
No, appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
Yep. Later, man.
You the man.
Bye.
He jumps off. You can get on board. 877-867-1670. He's right. I mean, when Vince Glenn said that to us, he's like, I don't, as good as Jair is, he said, we don't want him here as a Viking. And he said, it's not because he's not a good player. It's because you don't need distractions. They got a really good, what they feel, a tight-knit group in Minnesota. They don't want distractions. They don't want somebody coming in and either being one, a prima donna, or two, trying to disrupt things for themselves. And I mean, when your dad is there screaming about your contract on Twitter and putting it all out there, that's not a great look. Now somebody's going to sign him because he's got talent. I'm not saying he's out of the league, but none of that helps. Nobody's ever gone, oh, okay, you know what? All right. Yeah, now we get it. Okay, now we're going to give you money. Okay. Remember when, Greg Jennings' family was going off about Aaron Rodgers? It wasn't like the Vikings went, oh, okay. God, yeah. Oh, well, let's give him $10 million more then. It's not his fault. Right? Nobody ever looked at Javon Walker and went, oh, boy, you were right. Your dad was right. You should have been the face of the Packers and not Brett Favre. It's like, stop. I don't know many, other than maybe defending somebody to say, well, that's not really what happened. Let the story unfold. We appreciate all your thoughts or something. And somewhat of a kind recognition, but kind of hold your water type of statement. I don't know any family members that have changed everybody's minds. It doesn't work that way. 877-867-1670. Hit us up. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Come back. Mike Clemens, as they wrap up the mini camp in Green Bay, he'll give us a little perspective in all of that. And we'll hear from Mike. This portion of the program brought by our terrific sponsor all over the great state of Wisconsin. That is our friends over at Quick Trip, KWIK, Quick Trip. And man, when you travel around this state, you are just happy to see that great big KT sign somewhere, whether it's going to the bathroom and pulling off the side of the road, or if you just are you're hungry, you're thirsty, you want a hot meal, you want a burger, obviously if you got a weekend or maybe a tailgate coming up, maybe you're going to the ballpark tonight, you want to grab out of the beer cave some beverages, whatever it happens to be. Quick Trip's got something for everybody. That's our good friends over there at Quick Trip. Stop in, and as they say, we'll see you next time. Whether I stopped in this morning, I got myself a coffee, and I have to admit, I grabbed a 5-hour energy. I was dragging a little bit. Grab that today. Love Quick Trip for everything you need. That's our friends at Quick Trip. Mike Clemens up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. 6/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Phil Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Phil Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Man, I'm super motivated. You know, I feel like every offseason always a fresh start to do better and get better. So that's why I'm here.
Welcome back. The words of the now departed Jair Alexander. And he wanted out. So interesting stuff. He would not take the haircut as it's been put. So the Packers let him go and said, okay, we'll work without you, even though they did want to make an effort to keep him. This portion of the program and our guy, Mike Clemens, brought to you by the Bay Motel and Family Restaurant. Bay Motel, just a mile from Lambeau Field. Home-style cooking, by the way, at the restaurant, 7 days a week. But the Bay Motel right there on Military Avenue. Stop in, tell them we said hi, but make your reservations now. Whether you're going up for a game, training camp, maybe just going up to check out Green Bay and maybe going over to the Hall of Fame or something like that, check out our friends at the Bay Motel. Go to baymotelgreenbay.com. Call them direct, 920-494-3441, 920-494-3441. That is baymotelgreenbay.com. That is baymotelgreenbay.com. Mike Clemens joining us on the hotline. Michael, how you doing today, pal?
Pretty good. I got to fight some fake news on Twitter. You know, fans think that if they scour Twitter, they're going to uncover facts or something. And unfortunately, you need to keep in mind when I'm standing here 2 feet away from the Packers GM shooting video and posting it, maybe that's what you should go with.
Right.
You know, like,
oh, God,
he
yeah.
never said that they were going to, restructure his contract. Yes, we have that down. He doesn't want to talk about that publicly, but trust us, that's what went on. Well, Jair never said he wanted to leave, Yes, try. Well, his fathers, they'll sit on Twitter. He hasn't talked yet. And then story. And he'll end up with another team, and then he'll choose to decide to talk about how much his half of the story was. But, Goody came over and waved us over at the first practice after the Packers released him on Monday. I said, come over here, guys. So we went into this little garage and we gathered around him. And so we said, all right, so you released him yesterday. Why did you not honor the contract you had with Jair and give him one more chance to see if he could get a whole season together after 3 out of 4 years missing most of the season due to injuries?
Yeah, I think obviously we've done that for the past few years, and it hasn't really worked out for us. I think as we went through it was just something, we looked at a lot of different angles, what might be right for the club. This is kind of where we ended up. But again, it was no bad blood. It's just kind of one of those things where over the last couple of years, it hasn't worked out exactly like the ones for no fault of anybody. Just the injuries kind of, took some games away from them.
Well, Mike, and it's not like they didn't, because people say, why'd you wait so long? Well, they were still trying before the mandatory minicamp to bring him in to figure something out to keep him on this team, from what I understand.
Right. I told you we met with Goodkins at the Combine in a conference room and for over an hour. And the feeling was that, okay, I've talked to Russ Barrow, finance guy. We've lost a lot of money in this play the last couple of years because of injuries, no fault of his own. But whatever, he's only in 7 games last year. He's missed, games out of 3 of the last 4 years. So we need to cut this thing down and restructure. And we'll see where it goes. And Brian said, this has not been a contentious, tense deal for the last 2 or 3 months. It was pretty much the Packers said to his agent, here's the deal that we think he should be brought back at. The agent said, oh, no, we've got a contract. We're good. We'll see at minicamp. So Brian then was asked, and by the way, when Jair did report, they sat down and talked to him this past Sunday afternoon. It was like last chance. It's not contentious. It's like, dude, what's best for the team is that you take a cut, and we'll see how it goes in 2025. So Brian was asked that question, Bill, that you just asked. Why did you guys wait until June 9th then to release him? And listen carefully what he said.
Yeah, well, I think we wanted to give it as much time as, again, he's a really good player. And so I think we wanted to give it as much time as we could. I think as he came in, had really good conversations with him on Sunday, and I just kind of felt this was what was best.
So Jair's gone, and now you kind of think, okay, there's money there. You gain, I think it's like $17 million on the cap. I think you go from number 10 to number 13 to number 4 total overall in the National Football League with space. So we know Elton Jenkins goes from guard to center. It's a less valuable position, even though you do have a lot of responsibility when it comes to that. He is a guy that's there. He's waving to people. He's maybe educating a little bit, but he is not going to risk getting hurt until he gets a new deal done.
Yeah, he reported. He was in the meetings, but he was, not practicing on the field while they work out his deal. And, I heard on the way up to Green Bay, I was listening to the show, listening to you talking to the listeners after Jair had been released, and I thought a lot of listeners brought up a good point. Boy, if your salary cap's up to $45 million, why wouldn't you keep him? So I asked these questions of Brian Gutekunst, about how close are they to restructuring a deal for their new center, Elton Jenkins?
Yeah, we'll keep those things in-house. We're not going to really talk about contract stuff, but he's here now. He's got a little thing he's working through, but hopefully we'll get him out here soon enough.
Fans will wonder, though, why Jair you were able to keep him when you still got so much left in your salary cap.
Yeah, well, again, I think, over the last 4 years, there's been a lot of games missed. And I just think for what that amount of money is, I think that's a lot to pay for a guy who hasn't been able to get out on the field. Again, it's not his fault. It's just something that kind of transpired. So we just we're looking for something different.
Mike, I got to be honest. I'm driving over from Rice Lake to Road America last night, and I'm listening to the NFL Network, and they get on the source of the Packers. They talk a little bit about Elton Jenkins, Jair being released. You would have thought they took Jerry Rice and made him a safety. I mean, that's it was like, oh, can you believe that they're doing this? And it's not unprecedented, but oh my goodness, And I'm thinking, this is a guy that they really like his work ethic. He's been pretty good on special. Bo Melton. They like his work ethic. They think he's pretty good on special teams. He doesn't mind hitting and being hit, and because he's a practice dog and he's just a dog, man. And they think maybe this is a way to keep this guy on the team. If his brother can play corner, maybe something rubs off. We've seen wide receivers do it, and maybe it just gives them a little bit of depth. But oh my God, if that's the big controversy in camp, the Packers are smiling pretty, man.
They're just looking for options. And, they did this a year or two ago with that third-string quarterback, and they moved him to tight end because he's a good athlete. He's a good player. But, we're good at quarterback, Right. So Bo Melton is a guy who comes in as a wide receiver. His brother, Max Melton, is a corner for the Cardinals. And Bo Melton, has earned his keep here. Not only is a guy who can jump in there at wide receiver, but he's done really well on special teams for Rich Bisaccia, even on coverage teams in terms of tackling. And LaFleur said, we recognized this a year or two ago when he was coming up through the ranks at practice squad like this, maybe this guy could play some defense. Now, Bo Melton's not happy about this. To me, it's a little bittersweet. And so he was asked, well, how did your brother Max, the defensive back out there with Arizona, how did he react when he heard the news that they got you trying out at cornerback?
Yeah, so when he seen it, he called me like, what the hell are you doing? Nah, I ain't telling him. Just because, I've been playing wide out. It's just something that, came up. I'm going to, give it a shot. If it works, it works.
He's not happy. If it works, it works. I mean, but it keeps you on a team, maybe making, keeping a paycheck, I guess is the best way to put it.
They're so deep now at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the facts. Gutekunst has been packing a parachute since February when Jair did not jump on board with restructuring. So they went out and got Nate Hobbs, a veteran out of the Raiders. You still got Carrington Valentine coming in his third year. You did, draft a corner late in the draft and all that. And then you start talking about the wide receiver room and just how deep that is. And then not only do you draft 2 wide receivers, the number 1 pick in the first round as well with Golden is McCole Hardman, who has got 3 Super Bowl rings with the Chiefs, went to the Jets, had an injury year with that, and then, of course the Jets, the wheels came off. He went back to the Chiefs. So now they bring him in. And one guy was saying to me at the sidelines, do you think number 6, who is Hardman, you think he can make this team as a wide receiver? I mean, would they keep him just to be kickoff and punt return? No sooner you say that than about 4 plays later on 11-on-11, Jordan Love backs up, plants his foot, throws the ball 60 yards in the air in a perfect spiral. Packers actually posted this video on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
He hits McCole Hardman in stride. It was beautiful. And I turned and I said, yeah, I think he can make the team as the
right?
6th wide receiver. So we asked Hardman, after your time with the Chiefs, 3 Super Bowl rings, and then the Jets, how do you view coming to Green Bay?
The new opportunity, I think it's one of those like fresh starts, and the Packers just welcome me with open arms and giving me the opportunity to go out there and showcase my skills, and it's good enough for me, and I just gotta go out there and take advantage of it.
Now, Mike, another guy that's come in and has received very little fanfare, but when the deal went down, people went, watch this. This might be one of the bigger deals in the offseason. And I'm excited about the linebacker Isaiah Simmons. Nobody's talking about this guy.
Maybe he's another Devondre Campbell.
Right.
He was 8th overall in the draft when the Cardinals picked him. Then he kind of got that tag of being a hybrid linebacker. Oh, he can play linebacker. He can play nickel. He can play safety. He says, actually, I've been tagged that, and it kind of drives me crazy. And so after leaving the Giants last year, he talked about he likes the focus he's gotten after talking to the defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, and why he came to the Packers.
I mean, honestly, when I came here, they were nothing but upfront. They're like, we're just going to be completely candid. Like most of our guys are coming back. There are a few pieces that we need, and you happen to be one of them. So they let me know that in the other places that they're good at their position, which that's amazing, because a lot of times when I had to be moved around, it was due to like maybe injuries of guys not being able to play, or some people maybe just weren't good enough to play there. So then I would have to be moved around and whatnot. So that was actually really encouraging to come in and know that I was going to have like a specific role on just how it's going to help the team, and I could focus on that.
Mike, you mentioned Jordan Love. I want to go back to that because you had talked about, and I've heard you with me and others, where you say, look, we have not seen Jordan Love just step into a pass 60 yards, rainbow it, and have the timing down like we've seen in this. Now, again, nobody's got pads on, no big defenders going after you. You don't have pressure, but it looks like there's something different.
He wasn't hitting these passes 3 years ago. He's hitting the long ball. And so at the end of the day, when you talk about the offense and taking the next step after last year's disappointments, I said to Jordan, have you been thinking about in the offseason, like, okay, what do I need to do to really get it going with Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks to the next level in your third year together?
Definitely. That's really the whole part of the offense that we need to keep growing, keep finding that consistent, just being on the same page with each other. Every play, there's a couple plays where we'll have some good body language I'm able to read and understand where they're going to be at. There's some times where we're just not on the same page. So I think, that just comes with reps and being on the same page and going through different things, seeing different looks with every play we do. So, every rep we get is very valuable in that, and that's going to be the test for us this year is how close can we get, how much can we be on the same page, because my time with Aaron and Devontae, just being able to see two guys that are just on the same page, flowing, know where they're going to be at. It's tough for defenses to stop that.
Mike, it's also when you settle down and your life begins to settle down. I mean, you guys getting ready to get married. Sometimes you find that structure where everything just all of a sudden falls into place.
Yeah, Love came to talk to us for a second time, which is nice. He just talked to us a week or two ago in the OTAs, and now we know that, we say goodbye until the start of training camp on the 23rd of July. And after, several football questions, there was that lull, and people say, anything else? I go, yeah, I want to know about the wedding. Remember he talked to us in New Orleans at the Super Bowl about the wedding, how he and Ronica have booked an In-N-Out Burger semi-truck for snacks at the reception. So
that's fantastic.
I asked him, hey, when's the wedding, man?
When's the wedding? It's coming up here soon. A couple weeks out.
The burger truck, is that going to happen?
It's going to happen. Yes, that is a dream. Especially being from Cali, if you know In-N-Out. It's a dream right there. Absolutely. Excited about that.
I have to follow. How is the wedding planning going, and how much are you taking part in it?
It's been going great. We have a wedding planner that's been helping us with a lot of stuff, and Ronica's been really involved with handling a lot of this stuff, and I've been weighing in on some of the things, some of the different areas, but it's been good. I'm sure a couple weeks out it might pick up, get a little more hectic with it right around the corner, but it's been awesome. We're excited. We're ready for it, so excited to get that going.
There you go. That's our guy, Mike Clemens, talking to everybody up there at Packers camp. Always great to get Mike on and pick his brain, get perspective and such. And just to kind of, follow up with that, we had, obviously great discussions throughout the day about Matt LaFleur, talked about Bo Melton. And so just kind of covering it all. Now the Packers off until, I believe it's July 23rd is when the Packers finally do come back. Let's do this. We're going to step out, take a quick break. Hey, I want to remind you, I just kind of mentioned Smoke on the Water and their new bar that's opening up out back. It's also highlights bourbon. Somebody just sent me a note saying, hey, don't forget to highlight. And I think it was Joe Hennis, as a matter of fact, the owner, but it highlights bourbon, good bourbons. So they got a bourbon bar. It's not just a bar, but a bourbon bar out back right there at Smoke on the Water in Okauchee Lake. And they unveil that new bar tonight. So if you're going to think about maybe heading out and watching the Brewers game, but you're not going to the game, maybe stop over, check out the bourbon bar. We're either going to do it today or tomorrow for sure. But the new bourbon bar out back of Smoke on the Water in Okauchee Lake. More of the Bill Michaels Show. Wrapping it up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
That's it. That's going to do it. We are here in Road America. And next week we'll be back here as the IndyCar Series comes to town. Remember, go to roadamerica.com. That is roadamerica.com for tickets, camping information, everything they have coming up, the rest of their schedule for the season. But, man, thanks to John Ewert out here who invited us out and always does a great job sitting down with us for about 20 minutes and explaining all the new features and such out here at Road America. Thanks to Mike Clemens for joining us today. We just, we had a great time. Just a lot of fun hanging out here and being a part. I love this place. Absolutely. It's near and dear to my heart. Love this place out here at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Grant off today, back at it on Monday. Austin, you did a good job, man. Appreciate it as always.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It's always fun.
Yeah. So now we go off. We watch Brewers baseball. Hopefully they get a couple of more wins this weekend and maybe gain a game or two on the Cubs. And then we'll be back at it on Monday. I'm now heading out. I'm going to tear the equipment down and I'm heading off. I believe they're going to come and I hope, and I get a chance to go back with the T-Pain gang and do a little drifting. So
that will be must-see. I will be looking out on social media for that.
Yep, but watch for it. If they put me in a car, man, I'm going to do a little drifting. Do some Wisconsin State Fear. As I see T-Pain right now is on the microphone just outside of the media center here. So I'm looking forward to it. Pay attention to social media over the weekend, and who knows, it'll pop up. But until we talk again on